And welcome back to another episode of Ministry of Truth. I am your number one host on this show because that's just who I am. It's how I am, and that's how you're always going to get it. So we've got a few things we're going over today. Some of it's, actually, they're all pretty much related. Sorry, let me get back to where I was supposed to be. All right. So we're going to talk about a few things. One of them's a judge, Supreme Court judge for Wisconsin. At least that's what she's running for. And she has an 80% plus chance of winning the election. But we're going to go over one of her cases. It's one of the cases I found really, really interesting, and it pretty much ties a lot into what we're going to go over today. But before we go into anything, I'm going to start us with a song, right? This song is going to pretty much set the mood for what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, get your dancing shoes on. I don't know if you can dance to this song, but you can try.
A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors.
Oh man, y'all a pedophile. For a little bit of money, you will sell a child. Ain't the LGBTQ a bunch of pedophiles? You just see a dollar sign cause y'all are pedophiles. Y'all are sick, hey, y'all a bunch of pedophiles. For a little bit of money, you will sell a child. Ain't the LGBTQ a bunch of pedophiles? You just see a dollar sign cause y'all are pedophiles. Y'all are sick, you're pedophiles. Y'all should be ashamed. Throw them in the fire with the flames. Line them up and let us take aim. How did we get to this place? When grooming kids is something you embrace. I got a gun and it goes something like the bass. It's a crime now and it's time out for these men dressing in drag. Pull a 9 now, time to sign now. You gon' buy now with that flag. I say no to that rainbow, it's no bueno, you're fake. No halo, got the queso cause you do it all for the pay. They ain't hiding now, they coming for the kids. They calling me a bigot, but y'all a bundle of twigs. You selling up the children, going to the highest bid. How much you getting paid from the rhinos and all the libs? Y'all might be handed over, I ain't wasting time in prayer. You send your kids to hell, you sick and you don't even care. Maybe we should stone you, get you in the city square. Call it street justice, think before you touch another hair. Oh man, y'all a pedophile. For a little bit of money, you will sell a child. Ain't the LGBTQ a bunch of pedophiles? You just see a dollar sign cause y'all are pedophiles. Y'all are sick, hey, y'all a bunch of pedophiles. For a little bit of money, you will sell a child.
Do them again. Do them again.
A bunch of pedophiles. You just see a dollar sign cause y'all are pedophiles. Y'all are sick, hey, y'all are
pedophiles running wild. I think they need to be stoned. They groom your children in schools when they leaving their home. Y'all say live and let live, and the each is your own until they disguise it as gay when they creepy and grown. LGBTQ, let God burn them quickly.
Bryson, that's hate speech.
That's why everyone's against me, and they looking for a villain. I'm so glad they picked me. I would say the F word, but they might suspend me. Fag, 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 wait, that's a British cigarette. Pedophiles got certain tendencies, I mean no disrespect. Before you completely cancel me, please let me interject. Don't let distractions stop you from seeing what's the biggest threat. It's a slippery slope. Let them get married and bake their cake. Now it's let them date little kids if that's who they want to date. Dancing naked in front of children. Skirt, hit the brakes, just wait. The unrepentant will all burn inside the lake.
Man, y'all a pedophiles.
There we go. Pretty much going to set the tune of what we're going to talk about today. Yes, last time I played something like this, somebody got really, really mad saying I was homophobic and that not all LGBT is pedophiles. Okay, I never said they were. That song said they were. I never said they were. But, you know, if you look at the T's and the people that are non-binary. So let's get into these first video. This, actually, we're not going to get into a video yet. We're going to get into a story. So what I'm going to talk to you about is Miss Curtis O'Brien. So Miss Curtis O'Brien, this lady right here, who definitely... Can you not see my mouse? What the fuck? Alright, so the lady in the picture, let's assume... There you go. Or not. Anyway, the lady right here, that's the judge that, you know, no big deal. No big deal. You have multiple, you know, arrests for having sex with a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old? Weren't you supposed to get like 60 years in prison? Weren't Or was it 6? Either way, he did 10 months because of Miss Susan Crawford. The girl who repeatedly molested by now freed Curtis O'Brien through age 6 wrote a heartbreaking victim impact statement submitting to Dane County. Judge Susan Crawford, just 2 years ago, my favorite color is a rainbow and Christmas. I love spaghetti and mac and cheese with peas and corn. Wow. And tuna and oatmeal. What? My favorite stuffed animals are tigers, lions, ladybugs, narwhals, and hedgehogs. My favorite kind of juice is lemonade. My favorite kind of dollars are Monster High. Dollars? Oh, I'm assuming they mean dolls. And named after high. Okay. Pugs. So, she's 10 years old when she wrote this. Multiple times while she was 5 years old by this fucking piece of shit in the middle of the screen. So, let's read a little more on Curtis O'Brien. So this is from Wisconsin right now. This is Curtis O'Brien. Make him famous, internet. Doing it right now. He repeatedly raped a 5-year-old girl, sexual intercourse and oral intercourse in a bathroom and basement. The child would daydream about ponies while being raped and considered killing herself. The details are extremely revolting. He would make her sit in a tub and bend over a toilet. Ooh. Wisconsin Judge Susan Crawford, a leftist ideologue who is running for a seat on the state Supreme Court, released O'Brien on a $500 signature bond and allowed him to live in Black Earth, a small town across from an elementary school. Okay? She had multiple bail hearings. This was even though he was already a felon with bail jumping and a weapon offense. Oh. He's a bail jumper. Okay. This so terrified a local mother and nurse named Amber Herring that she organized a petition drive to get Crawford to revoke that decision. Instead, Crawford repeatedly loosens O'Brien's conditions, allowing him to work at a Planet Fitness, and walk his dog if the staff or parents were present. Herring said that he would walk alone around town constantly, and one time even walking a half step behind her and her small daughter. What the fuck? Shouldn't that be harassing? So they sentenced him to 4 years in prison when he should have been serving 60, and he got out 10 months later. That's the Judge Crawford that everyone's talking about. If anybody's paying attention to Elon Musk in Wisconsin and all that shit. Now let's get back to positions of trust. Positions of mandated reporting. These are stuff that educators should do, not what you're about to listen to.
Go out to a story that we have just been brought to our attention with this feed about the last 10 minutes ago. We want to bring this to you here out of Pennsylvania. We are learning that 20 school workers have been charged with abuse, and they are alleged to be doing issues here with abuse as far as physical harm and also mental harm as well. So let's listen in on Live Now from Fox.
We're here today, as you all know, we charged earlier today 20 individuals who worked at the Chester Community Charter School with child abuse. 9 of the individuals actually, according to the surveillance videos we've reviewed, actually laid their hands on children and abused them physically. 11 other individuals who are sorted different roles in the school turned their backs and looked the other way, or in fact, oftentimes looked right at the abuse happening and failed to report it. So they are charged with failure to report. These are all of these employees, all 20 people, have a duty under Pennsylvania law to report instances of child abuse. They are mandated to report that by law. So by not reporting it, they violated the law. We've also charged those 11 individuals who witnessed this without doing anything with endangering the welfare of those children. But there are 9 individuals who we have surveillance videos that I've watched.
20 plus employees with at least 9 laying hands on students. By the way, it was like 26 different students. And staff looked away, and I believe the administration knew and looked away. So, in my opinion, all 20 of those teachers need to be fired and sent to jail. At least for 30 days. The school administration should be fired and never be allowed to work in schools again. But more likely is the principal will just have to write a statement saying they're being punished, and that will be it.
Watched of them putting their hands on these children, some as young as 5. It's their K to 5 years grades, and these are children who are in the emotional support program. And so in the surveillance videos, you can see them doing pressure point holds on the child's shoulder, causing them pain. You can see them grabbing their hands and putting them in front of them to restrain them. And oftentimes you can see them then using their knee to take the child to the ground. And at least one incident I saw them jack a kid up against the wall. This is just unacceptable behavior to happen anywhere, particularly in a school setting for children who are supposed to be getting emotional support.
Yeah.
So we are thankful that the Chester Township Police, as soon as this came to light, Officer Strofe and Detective Mullen, working with our office, my Deputy District Attorney, Kristen Kemp, have investigated this matter. It's still an ongoing investigation, but we've charged these individuals and we're moving forward, and I assume you all might have some questions.
Can you talk about the emotional support program, first of all, so we understand that these kids are supposed to be getting help with their emotions and they're getting attacked in the classroom?
Exactly right. I mean, my understanding is these are children who it's been identified that they need more help at that age, at a very tender age, K to 5 grades we're talking about here. And so these people are supposed to be giving them extra support as they're trying to learn in school. And instead, oftentimes, they're just either intimidating them physically and then laying hands on them. It's very disturbing to see the surveillance videos.
Jack, could you tell us the relationship between the contractor and the school and who was involved there, and are they just as culpable as the school or vice versa?
My understanding, again, this is a continuing investigation, is that most of these, if not all of these employees, I don't think all of them, but most of them were contracted through this organization, Peak Performance. Thank you. They're supposed to be keeping records, they're supposed to be training, and they've told the school that they were doing all of that. The law enforcement investigation is finding that out to not be true, that they haven't trained these people in the proper way to restrain a child, if you have to restrain a child. And the school is under an obligation, I think you see it in the complaint, that if a child is restrained at any time, that has to be reported by the state. So I think there are some issues here for both the school and certainly for this company that was providing some of these employees, because the school wasn't looking at their own surveillance video.
Jack, the affidavit describes this as systemic. It wasn't sporadic, it wasn't incidental. This was something that...
Think about that kid that got beat the fuck out of by that black principal. The special needs kid.
Was known about that people ignored or participated in. Is your office investigating the rest of that school just to make sure that this isn't taking place anywhere else?
Yeah, great question. So we are, as I mentioned, Alex, it's a continuing investigation. If you see from the complaint, most of the incidents that we've charged happened between November and December of last year. We're still looking at video. So there will be more work being done by these great officers from Chester Township who picked up the cudgel when we first got complaints in the door. They have been investigating this nonstop. But Chief Colson, who I spoke to this morning, is absolutely committed to continuing.
So if they got surveillance cameras in the school and they don't monitor them, would that be like the same situation as monitoring the hallways and doors for people that don't belong there? Obviously, they're not being monitored, especially being in elementary grades.
The investigation, and if there are more charges warranted, we're going to bring them.
Do you think that there are more victims out there? And if so, what's your message to these parents?
I can't tell you how many more people. 26 children have been identified as people who are victims already. We also know that some young people witnessed these things happening and may not have been actually victimized themselves. That's another form of victimization. I think again, to Alex's point, this is a systemic problem in this school where these kids in this program were living in fear, a lot of them. So if there are more victims, we would love for their parents to come forward. It probably took a lot of courage for these young children to tell their parents what was happening in school and why they were afraid to go back to school. But as we're interviewing these children, we're getting the stories. And if there are more people and more children who want to come forward, we are here for them, as are the Chester Township Police.
Have the victims' families seen these videos? And just your thought as a human being watching these?
Yeah, I don't think that they've seen the videos. As a parent, I'm really disturbed to think that when you send your child to school, that somebody who is being paid to take care of your child.
Crazy. Like, you would say that they're supposed to protect our kids because technically that's their job, because we charge them with that, responsibility when we send them to schools. But if they're fucking kids or beating kids, what the fuck are they even doing? And they want to get paid more? Get the fuck out of here.
Child is actually hurting them is just frightening. Just as a human being, it's awful to watch these grown people, the way they're treating these young kids. And you can just imagine what this is going to be like for those children going forward. This is just not the way we're supposed to treat young people, particularly in a school setting. It's been a complete failure. And I'm outraged by it. Talking again to Chief Colson this morning, he hasn't seen anything like this either for a long time in his career. And so that's why we want to make sure that we brought the charges as quickly as possible, but also to continue the investigation to make sure that we've stopped it.
And Jackie, 20 individuals, 26 students. Have you seen a case like this where this many people are involved?
Not like this. And again, one of the more disturbing things is how there are people sitting there watching.
Being in there with 26 students, could this be a class action lawsuit against the school and the district?
Sitting in the teacher's desk watching these kids get abused. And the surveillance video doesn't have audio, but you can see from most of these attacks, these children are just sitting there. And an adult comes over and starts pinching their shoulder till they're writhing in pain, and then putting them in restraints, and then picking them up. Meanwhile, there's an adult just sitting there watching it all happen. I'm as outraged by that as you can imagine, right? Both the fact that somebody is physically assaulting these kids, but also educators, people who are working in the school,
position of trust,
allowing it to happen. Systemic. Look the other way.
How long was the school operating with this company? How many years?
Don't know. You have to ask the school.
So with the 20 people, have they said anything? What kind of charges, what kind of time are they facing? Have they given any explanation for what?
Well, they're all, dealing with lawyers at this point and turning themselves into the police. I think 3 defendants have already turned themselves in today. They're all facing felony counts.
What the hell? Did you see that? Why is the kid climbing the fence? Do you see that? Why is a kid climbing the fucking fence at a school, at the playground?
They're all facing felony counts at this point. Some of them, a lot of them. Harris, Daniels, those defendants who actually touched those children time and time again, they are on all of these videos over and over again. And again, this is a continuing investigation, John, so there may be more charges coming. But they're going to have their day in court. Right now, these are charges, allegations, and we're prepared to move forward and prosecute them fully.
For the parents of remaining students there, how confident are you that this abuse has stopped? What would you tell them?
What I can tell them is all we can do in law enforcement is stop what we've seen and what we've learned and what we've uncovered thus far. We're going to continue the investigation, and if there are more incidents, if people want to come forward and help us with that, we are open for that business. But we're also just going to do what we do in law enforcement. We're going to just continue to investigate this until we don't have any more bad actors to hold accountable.
And this was just a 7-year-old who said...
Didn't want to go to school anymore. Didn't want to go to school anymore, John, because he was afraid to go to school. When a small child is telling you, you're his parent, that they're afraid to go back to school because they're afraid of what the teachers are doing with them, that is just as a parent's worst nightmare. So I'm thankful that those young people did that. I'm thankful their parents
All
listened.
your kids in
And
Penn
I'm
Foster.
thankful that the law enforcement, the Chester Township Police Department, jumped on this immediately, contacted our office, and we've done the work we've done. None of these people right now, these 20 people, are teaching children today. That's a victory for people who go to that school.
The spokesperson for the school said that all of the parents of these children had decided to keep their kids in the school. Do you know if that's accurate?
I have no idea.
And this is why I completely agree with having cameras in daycares. 100%.
We know that the school says they conducted their own internal investigation. Did the school reach out to Chester Township Police?
Not to my knowledge. But the Chester Township Police did get cooperation from school officials. There's also child line reports that need to be made. So as soon as we knew something, and I'm not sure what the order was, whether or not the school knew first, but as soon as we knew something, Chester Township Police were on this that day.
Are they getting continued?
Really?
Pardon me?
Are they getting continued support from the schools? Is the school still cooperating at this time?
Hey, Pennsylvania catchers, you should definitely go to that city, because it looked like that the police take it serious, and so does the DA.
To my knowledge, they are, but again, it's a continuing investigation. What we've done, focused on this past weekend, was making sure that we got these people charged.
How far back are you looking at getting surveillance video here?
Well, at this point, the Chester Township Police have been able to look at a couple of months' worth of video. I think that they're trying to get more of that, but again, continuing investigation. Our mission right now was to hold these people accountable and make sure that they're not teaching children today.
Just to make sure, was this one classroom that kids from K, or they, like, each grade had a classroom of this type of?
My understanding is there was a couple of classrooms where this program was being run in.
You gotta be shitting.
And yeah, I think you see from the complaint that they're mentioned in there, Classroom A,
So all
and another
classrooms.
with a different name to it. I forget the second classroom's name. But
So
I think
it's happening to those special needs, emotional people, kids. What about the rest of the school? You mean to tell me it was only limited to those students?
kids filter through those classrooms during the course of the day.
Do you know if this company is working with any other schools?
I don't, not at this point.
It seems like the workload's going to be pretty big in terms of like all of those teachers. Because anybody who saw anything and didn't say anything, everybody in the school now, it seems like a pretty huge project.
Well, what we've seen from the videos that we've looked at, right, it's inside a classroom. So there's an individual who's a support staff who is assaulting this child. If there's a teacher watching, they've been charged. So as of today, we've gotten our hands around everybody we needed to charge based on the evidence we have today. But again, as a continuing investigation, there could be more videos uncovered. There could be more parents coming forward. But we're open to that. But we needed to get this case charged as quickly as possible, and that's why we're...
Is there anywhere parents should reach out if they think...
They can always call our office, as you know, Alex, but I would call the Chester Township Police Department, Chief Colson, Patrolman Strafe, and Detective Mullen have been doing a great job. They are the leads on this case in terms of the investigation at this point.
And is that where they're turning themselves in?
Correct. And they're making arrangements with the district court as well. We have a district court here in Upper Providence where we bring child abuse task force cases, and so this case will eventually filter through that court.
Where's that at?
Right here in Upper Providence on Providence Road.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The DOCO DA talking about this case here where 20
school of employees physically abusing, emotionally abusing 26 students across multiple classrooms in one school. I don't think it was limited to those classrooms because I believe those classrooms, because of the type of students they have cameras in. So who knows what could possibly be coming? There might be more school employees getting caught up. Hopefully they do. Especially, I'm glad they're charging the teachers that watched and didn't say shit. It's their fucking job. On to the next.
Pearl River man previously convicted for sexually abusing a child was found guilty yesterday of molesting his then girlfriend's 8-year-old daughter. That happened back in March of 2022. 48-year-old Lawrence Burst faces 2 to 25
3 years
in prison on
to get to
charges
jail
of indecent behavior with a juvenile. Burt has prior convictions for sexually abusing a 13-year-old girl nearly 17 years ago, along with felony convictions for theft and 2 for failing to register as a sex offender. Burt's sentencing is now set for May.
It's all right if you have an opinion.
Yo, that's fuck. Did I really want to play this? Three years. Sexually assaulted at least 2. Maybe 3, because I didn't. That 13-year-old that got put in near the end. 3 children. How many more fucking times do they need to do it before you punish them? And by punishment, I mean like a punishment that fits the fucking crime. Not no 3 years or 10 years of probation or living in a park. And we're going to transition away from that for about 2 videos. And then we're going to transition back into what I really want to get into today, which is Miracle Park in Florida.
I'm saying it's not all right if you don't understand how the female reproductive system works.
Let pop quiz. When does heartbeats begin for babies in utero?
Have you ever eaten an egg before? That's yes or no. Have you ever eaten an egg before?
Scrambled, yeah.
Okay, so would that be you scrambled a full chicken?
It's not
Hold on. Oh, you understand it takes an egg to be fertilized?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But your
Yeah.
point,
So,
the whole point you're making is
hold on.
that
So,
a
but no.
baby...
Since we're doing pop quiz on like human development, so when exactly do heart waves begin in utero?
You know that, but you don't know the four.
Hold on. No. So tell me when. Tell me
You're
when.
a woman.
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know.
No.
So wait, hold on. So you're trying to say I know more about the woman reproductive system than you do?
I am a woman, so yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, but the point being is we could both go back and forth of like independent trivial facts when it comes to the woman's reproductive system. But here's something we all know, because God wrote this on the human heart of every individual, as it says in the book of Romans. We know deep down it's wrong to murder a baby.
You're not murdering a baby. It's not a baby.
Okay, well let's play this out. What is it then?
Oh shit.
It is an embryo, which is not a
Okay.
baby.
Well, okay.
Well,
So
now she said it's not a baby. I want you to pay attention because she's about to contradict the fuck out of herself.
it's a fertilized embryo.
Correct, which
right.
is not a baby.
So at what point does it become a baby?
When it is born.
Oh.
I don't agree with abortions up to full-term abortions.
Well, hold on, but you said it becomes a baby when it's
When
born.
it's born.
Then why would you have abortion limits before it's born? I thought it's just an embryo. So embryo rights?
No, the embryo rights aren't a
But
thing.
then
because it's not
where
a
would you
person.
draw a line for abortion then, and why, and under what moral standard?
There are medical reasons not
No,
to have an
no,
abortion
no,
for
that's
full
not the
term.
question. That's not
Yes,
the
it is.
question.
You just asked me
You're
why
talking
would I
about
not have an abortion
0.1%.
full term for medical reasons.
Okay, so at 29 weeks, the baby is nearly fully developed, can recognize the mother's voice, has a heartbeat, has brain waves. Is it okay to abort that baby?
I don't it's not okay, but you're going to say it's okay to have an abortion then. I don't understand what you're trying to say. It's not okay to have an abortion ever? How
Correct.
about 3
Yes.
weeks in?
Correct. No abortion. Correct.
Why?
Well, because your life started at conception.
It did not, though. It
Well-
did not.
Well, hold on. So let's
Okay.
play this out. So who are you as an individual? From your skin color to your eye color to your likes, your dislikes, from your temperament to your everything.
I am not an embryo. I'm a person.
Hold on a second. But it started with something called deoxyribonucleic acid. And your own individual DNA started at the point of egg and sperm meeting. That's where your journey started. And so from that point in particular, life begins. Not at birth, not at first words, not at first steps, but when your DNA, which is who you actually are. You are your DNA. Every one of your DNA cells is coded XX or XY. It's coded with all of your unique characteristics and attributes that we believe God individually curated for the rest of your life. That doesn't happen at 8 weeks or 10 weeks. It happens at conception.
What happens if you need a medical abortion? If the mother will die if she does not get an abortion?
So
what's your stance on
the
that?
only place where medical abortion is necessary is before 20 weeks, which is incredibly
What if she
rare.
will die? What if the mother
Hold
will
on a second.
die?
So let's take, for example, like this is a very important question.
I like how they always bring up the 1.1% rule. Kind of like the 1% of trans people in America, right? I don't know how that tied in. I just figured that out. But it's funny when they say 1% of the United States citizens join the military. So that's like 1 million people. So there's only like 1 million trans people. I don't get special rights. I get thank yous. Then why should they? They haven't done shit. Except for, pretend they're the opposite sex because they suck. And most of them are fucking faggots anyway.
Let's say it's 27 weeks, okay? And the mother will die. Why shouldn't, you could agree, why don't we just have the baby delivered by cesarean section? You know what a cesarean section is, right?
Yes.
What is a cesarean section?
A C-section?
Yeah, why wouldn't we just put the baby out by
is.
C-section instead of terminating it?
Because if the mother will die, it's not safe to do that.
You remove the baby.
I understand.
What is a cesarean? It's a C-section. No, that's not the definition. You just said the abbreviation.
Threat removed.
I know what a C-section is.
But it's actually safer than an
Did you go
abortion.
to
So
YouTube?
every time they say this is for you guys, they say, oh, you need to have abortion for medical reasons. Respond, then have a C-section.
What if you're not able to have a C-section? What if
But
you're
you're able to have an
on your
abortion.
deathbed? You need to have an abortion right now.
Well, again, but
And it's illegal. You
guess what?
can't, so you have to die.
First and foremost, C-section is safer, C-section is quicker, and a C-section saves both lives. A C-section.
My son had his umbilical cord wrapped around his fucking neck, and they had to have a C-section. C-sections are safe.
The baby is already dead, you just said.
No, but even no. Hold on a second. You're saying if the baby's already dead, then it isn't even an abortion.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're talking
Well, it is
about
an
a
abortion.
removal of a carcass, which is a completely different medical
So
operation.
you're saying that's okay if you're
Well,
having.
If you're hold on. If you're removing a carcass of a baby, that is not an abortion.
It actually
by
is, yeah.
definitionally.
It's the same process.
No, it's completely different. During an abortion, they actually inject the spinal fluid with cyanide poisoning as the baby squirms and tries to find its mother, and it is gasping for air of life. Have you ever watched an abortion? It is
Have
one
you?
of the. Yeah, actually, I have, and I encourage every human being to watch one to know what you are fighting against. Because when you see
Clown?
abortion, you will have your life
I don't
will be
think- I think
changed.
my mom had all
we
hers
allow
natural.
the massacre of 1.5 million babies a year.
I know
under
my
the
two
guise
girls,
of woman
they were
reproduction.
natural births. My son had a C-section because of that umbilical cord neck, and then I almost sued that fucking hospital. But I can't because it was a military hospital, and active duty service members can't.
Of health. We are allowing babies every single year to just say, we're going to discard them. Why? Oh, they're smaller. They're not humans. You're using dehumanizing language saying, oh, it's an embryo. No, that's a baby made in the image of God, deserving of protection.
What do you do with those children once they're born into a bad household?
So now we've transitioned to, what do you do with the kids?
Right.
Glad we're past the other part of the argument, okay? What do you do with them? There's twice as many people on the adoption waiting list than there are abortions every single year.
And they're still on the list. So you want to send a child into an orphanage?
Well,
Is that what you want for a child? Is that a good life for a child?
No, I'm not advocating that. In fact, I'm advocating to make it easier to be able to adopt, number one. Number two, there's no such thing as an unwanted child. Number three, it is never right to justify the mass elimination or termination of people under the guise of saying they're unwanted. That's how we get Auschwitz.
Wait. We can have mass extermination of an entire religion? Has that happened before? Huh. Did you know Hitler was able to flee Germany through tunnels? Some of them made by the Catholic Church.
That's how we get the greatest horrors of the 20th century. Those people are unwanted.
So you're comparing abortion to the Holocaust?
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse.
It's really
Yeah, because it's real.
It's 45 million babies. It's nearly 8 times worse than the Holocaust. What's the moral difference between a small baby in the womb and a grown Jew who was killed at Auschwitz? What's the moral difference?
They're both dead.
One is older.
Is a person.
What species is the baby in the womb?
Here you go.
It's a human, but it's
Therefore,
an
they should have
embryo.
human rights.
No.
They should have human rights.
I do not agree.
Oh, so small humans, no human rights. Grown humans, human
It's
rights.
not a small human. It's an
Just remember, if you kill a pregnant woman, it's 2 counts of murder.
embryo.
You just said it was a human species.
It's not a living human child.
It actually
Wait,
is.
It's not a what?
It's not a child.
But
it's not a living child.
It has a heartbeat. It has brain
that does
waves.
not make it a child.
But tell me
Makes
when it
it
becomes
living.
a child then.
When I already told you, when it is born.
Again, so under every other objective definition, you see guys how quickly the pro-abortion arguments fall apart with just the slightest questioning? But our position is one rooted not in feelings, not in personal autonomy, but one in biological consistency.
Sometimes I just get amazed. That's an SEC student too, which kind of makes me feel sad. Because I like the SEC. For the most part, they're smart if they're not a football school. You know, and this is why I think the Department of Education should have been defunded a long time ago. These colleges, they have these professors that get paid quite a bit of money to go there and indoctrinate kids instead of educate kids. Because that's all college has become, is indoctrination schools. I'm sure I was going somewhere with that. But what are they actually learning in college? I mean, for real. Nothing. Especially when they go there for like gender studies or underwater basket weaving or liberal arts, criminal justice. Now let's switch to one section of fucking retards, which is college students. Actually, if you look in that, most of that, there's a crowd was actually smarter than that bitch on stage. But, probably get them upstairs and they would, up to the mic, they might get flustered as well. These are adults. Well, 25 and above. And some of these guys are just fucking so retarded and out of touch. Like, maybe I'm just out of touch with reality.
Wrong, though, in your view?
He hates black people.
No reason to act retarded, if you know what I mean.
Look what happened in the French Revolution. They beheaded him.
Do you support something like that for, let's say, Elon Musk?
Yeah, why not?
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. Left-wing activists have been pushing back on Elon Musk by protesting outside of Tesla showrooms and even vandalizing and firebombing people's Teslas and Cybertrucks. So what do people think about this? Today we're in Philadelphia and New York City to find out. Let's go talk to some people. We're talking about the Tesla boycott. People boycotting. People have been vandalizing Teslas. There's been a lot going on. It's
look at
actually
fucking
rampant
retarded
right
John
now,
Lee
and
here.
I want your thoughts.
Let them run into the ground.
You would think there are better ways to protest and to do things, but in this day and age, they're not. So do what you gotta do.
Boycott, man.
Boycott.
Boycott. Gas cars forever.
My man.
I mean, people got a right to boycott whatever they want to boycott.
It's funny. Remember that initiative, 2030? Majority of the cars have to be green or electric. I don't think they're worried about that anymore. They're not worried about the environment anymore. Now because they're burning the motherfucking Teslas.
I don't support burning up the Teslas.
Okay. How far are we supporting? Are we supporting lighting those cars on fire?
No.
I made a comment.
burning the
I think it was
Teslas.
on Facebook. Elon Musk owns 13% of the company. I said that to you guys before. I don't think Tesla would be the same it is right now if Elon dropped him, took his name off of Tesla. I don't think Tesla would do as good as it does right now because they will lose a good majority of their supporters.
You're all for burning
I'm
the
all
Teslas.
for burning the Teslas. Burn them down, man.
I mean, if eggs were cheaper, maybe we wouldn't have to burn them.
Eggs are cheaper.
Throw an egg at a Tesla.
Perhaps that's preferable, I would imagine, for many Tesla owners.
I do live in the city, so it is kind of nerve-wracking because I do park on the street. I personally haven't had anything happen to me, thank God.
But you are worried about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I park my in a garage that's I pay and it's kind of gated, so I do have a bit more security than most people do. But there's no way I would feel comfortable parking my car on the side of a street.
I'm talking to people about the Tesla boycott. Do you support it or are you against it?
I support whatever's better for the people. That's what I'm about.
I don't support destroying someone's property. However, is there a way to make a statement? Would I be the one doing it?
I don't agree with people destroying other people's property. However, at that point, you are advocating for destroying people's property.
Probably not. But everyone has to voice their opinion somehow. Some people feel like that's the way to do it.
I mean, people can do what they want, but...
So, by that logic, and it's pretty much the logic of the liberal left, as long as I got something that I'm fighting for, I can boycott. And by boycott, I mean I can do whatever the fuck I want as long as I believe I'm fighting for something, right?
But obviously the firebombing is terrorism. I don't know how anyone can dispute that.
This is insane what folks are doing. It's just insane.
No matter what, they could be saving the world. They could be a perfect
I
economy.
know,
The
this
Dow
is
could
smart.
be record high, and I feel like the left is still going to find a reason to complain about something or what they're doing.
Going after a company based on its owner's views is a whole different thing, because Tesla, up until recently, everyone loved Tesla and thought it was a great thing for the environment, things like that. And I don't know where the political shift happened, but it was based on what Elon's own business and life decisions were, that all of a sudden a successful company like Tesla is now certain people and certain demographics are being targeted. And I personally don't understand it.
Support.
You support it.
Support.
You gotta think about it, like when they do these boycotts, they damage stuff. When another political or part of the country does their boycotts, typically those companies fold without having to destroy their products. And if you are destroying their products, they typically already bought it. Beer bottles, Target, what's that other one? Costco. That's a boycott. That's how you get them to notice. You don't get them to notice by burning other people's properties. You don't get them to notice by burning up a dealership. You know they're going to get replaced by other Teslas, right? Because their insurance is going to pay for those. So you are supporting the economy by making them build another Tesla and pay for another Tesla. And I was thinking, man, I told my wife, I should buy a Tesla just because. Just because. Even though I hate electric cars. What the fuck?
We don't like that man.
Mind if I ask you why you support it?
I don't with Elon Musk.
Why not?
He's a weirdo.
Why are you against the boycott?
No reason to hate capitalism.
Elon is doing nothing but trying to help the nation. Cutting budgets, SpaceX, expounding past what NASA's been able to do. I see nothing wrong with what he's doing.
They should lock him up, try him for treason. That's what it is. And deport him.
Why is it a good thing?
Because until Musk and all the millionaires pay their fair share of taxes, I don't think they should be prospering so much.
What do you think about the firebombing and the vandalism of Teslas?
No. Okay,
Not
so, no, because people can die, people can get hurt. No, you have to have moderation. But don't buy the car. That's a good idea.
So don't buy the car until what? Until he pays more in taxes? He did set the record, at least in modern American history, for the most taxes paid a couple years ago. Billions of dollars. How much do you think he should pay?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'd have to check that out.
There's been people vandalizing Teslas, firebombing Teslas. What are your thoughts on that?
If that's the only way they can make their voices heard, then that's the only way they can make their voices heard.
Do you consider that there's been people calling that domestic terrorism, using violence for the pursuit of political aims.
That's not terrorism. That's just protesting, and at this point people feel powerless, so they're just doing what they can.
So you see it as, okay, well, they're doing it for political reasons, therefore terrorism, essentially.
Yeah, I would say so.
Absolutely. That's what the definition of terror is.
I think it's up to the people. The people have to revolt, get back. You know, I mean, look what happened in the French Revolution. You know, or look at that one King of England, and he.
All right, so the French Revolution was actually in around 1812, and it was more British that burned down the White House, not as opposed to Canada, the French. But this was in the 1800s. You know, you were probably around back then. This is not the 1800s. This is 2025. There's a whole lot more of us than there are of them. And we own guns. Canadians, they confiscated their guns, which is why they can do what they want over there, just like England.
Decided he'd be the imperial thing, and what they do, they beheaded him. You know?
Do you support something like that for, let's say, Elon Musk?
Yeah, why not?
Can I behead him?
Capital punishment. Why not?
Well, you guys, I drink a
Capital
lot
punishment for what, though? What was his crime, other than going to Doge and saving a ridiculous amount of money? And then you got people saying, well, he's a billionaire. Why doesn't he... What? He gets all this money from the government. Yes, he does. Hence why all these companies from around the world are investing in U.S. AI, which I'm telling you I don't like. At the same time, who rescued astronauts that were stuck in the ISS for 10 months out of an 8-day mission when they could have been rescued 10 months ago? But a certain administration was like, no. That's going to make Tesla look good. It's going to make Elon look good. We can't be like that. They've been up there 10 months and you haven't gone up there and got them once. What the fuck does NASA do? Nothing. NASA is inept compared to SpaceX now. That's why Elon gets money. Oh, don't forget Starlink. When who needed internet access when they didn't have any? And Starlink stepped in? Ukraine, North Carolina, California. So he's bad for the country? Okay.
What?
So I like the car. I don't like what it stands for. I did get.
What does Tesla stand for? Give me a second. I'm gonna let her play. I want to see what Tesla.
A gift from my parents, and it's completely bought out. So I would definitely consider selling the car, but it's hard because it's like they bought it for me, and before, like, the car's like 3 or 4 years old. So it's obviously definitely something that I'm considering because I don't like what the car stands for, and I don't like everything that's going on. One, with the vandalism, but two,
what does it stand for in your view?
I don't think that a powerful CEO like that should have that much power in the government, and I don't
so
like.
This is Tesla's mission statement. This is what they're mad about, because this is what Tesla represents, guys. To accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. That's Tesla's mission statement. How is Tesla representing something bad? You don't agree with what Tesla represents? That's interesting. You don't even know what they represent.
Like everything that he's doing, and I am not in support of everything that he's doing in the government, everything that Tesla kind of stands for. So I do think that it's hard to like
have
a car in this climate. But I would.
He's not for green energy. Nailed it. You knew for a fact these guys were full of shit, and they never believed in this climate change, global warming bullshit in the first place.
Definitely consider like selling it, especially because it is bought out and it is in good condition.
Then
A
sell
lot
it.
of Democrats own Teslas. A lot of people can't afford to buy a new car right now. What are your thoughts on that? Because a lot of these Tesla drivers are Democrats. what would your message to them be? Get a new car? Or?
Yeah, just sell it, get a new car, do whatever you can.
If people can't afford
Act
or
like it's
can't
that
handle
easy.
the selling their car, getting a new one right now, what should they do?
Sell your car and get a new one? Do you guys understand how fucking stupid that sounds? And I'm just saying, this is New York City. Half of these people probably don't own cars. Just saying.
Make a statement. I will put tape over the logo.
Okay.
Make a statement any way you can.
All right.
My
No,
fiance
I'm
has
putting
a
a Tesla on
where
my
I'm like
Jeep. What
embarrassed
happened?
and like it doesn't financially make sense to like get rid of it.
For sure.
But like
There's a lot of people in that position.
Yeah. So it's like don't do that to the people who like already wanted to support clean energy and reuse and like divesting from fossil fuels, but
You
support the other businesses
this
that
was
are
a planned
having,
attack, right? Because the powers to be realize that they can't provide the infrastructure to power all these electric vehicles, especially places like California where you have rolling blackouts, rolling brownouts. Texas, obviously we can see their power grids wasn't able to withstand extreme amount of requirements. They figured out, fuck, we're not going to be able to do that. That's in 5 years. What are we going to do now? Let's make Teslas bad. One of the biggest electric car makers in the United States. And what's the next one? Resundo, or whatever the fuck it is. It never was about the environment. It was about control.
electric vehicles.
Would you consider yourself an environmentalist or no?
Yeah, and I'm more middle of the road anyway. I mean,
But you
as
agree
far
with
as
burning
parties
Tesla?
go, I consider myself an independent, just a free will thinker.
I hate when people say that. Well, I'm not liberal or conservative. I'm more of an independent. I'm a free thinker. No, you're not. A lot of times when I've talked to people that said they're independent or libertarian, they lean one direction or another. I know I do. I'm a right-leaning libertarian. I think. But at the same time, I believe in family and country. How's that bad? I'm a patriotic libertarian.
In either one, because I mean, both of them really haven't really done.
So all this
You don't really
shrinking
have
government is
extreme
what I wanted.
political views then.
No, but I'm like I was saying to you, we voted these people in to do the job for us to help.
I know,
us.
clown.
Does it
I know.
further
I mean,
the
you are
environmental
from California
agenda in your
originally.
view?
I think it brings more attention to it at the very least. Does it actively further it? Who's to say?
How far are we in support of the Tesla boycott? I mean, there's people lighting fires to Teslas, vandalizing.
Oh, you're
Are we in
missing half
support of
your
that,
eyebrows, girl.
Or no? What are your thoughts?
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most supportive, I would say 8 to 9.
You mentioned that you are an environmentalist. How do you think shutting down Tesla, making them go bankrupt,
No, clown. No.
how does that further the environmental cause, would you say?
Well, look at it. Look at all the recalls
me close my
already.
window.
They're saying even that one that Donald Trump tried to sell on the White House lawn had like 34 recalls against it.
Well, I just
So,
mean
the
like
cars
I just
are
mean like
the
trying
cars
to.
are unsafe. That would be, like I said, for the environment. Yeah, I mean, blowing up all that whatever, the lithium batteries and stuff. They always, and that's not good.
He sees himself as an environmentalist. He brings up the lithium batteries. Mr. Retarded Stan Lee, tell me about these lithium batteries. How do they mine for them? They don't just magically appear. You can't grow it off a tree. You have to mine. And ridiculous mining. Right? And then when you burn these lithium batteries, the toxins it releases into the air stay there for a while. Big while.
Anyway, I mean, us ordinary citizens can't dispose lithium batteries.
Yep, you are a clown.
Just anywhere. So what's the
Might as well
difference with
call yourself
with a
Kamala
car and
Force.
stuff?
Would
So-
you be against then firebombing them because it's bad for the environment? Firebombing a Cybertruck, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to give out toxic fumes and stuff.
Yes.
Probably some.
I do care about the environment. Actually, in my neighborhood, they call them the recycle czar.
Yeah? Are you going to keep it? Are you trying to get rid of it? Where are you standing? Because you're a Democrat that owns a Tesla right now, knowing that this is going on. What are your thoughts?
That's a great question. Given the climate of everything, I personally, if I could sell it, I would. Just to get away from everything, I would probably buy a different EV, with, the name not being so heavily
associated with Elon Musk.
Yes, exactly.
Do you think that bankrupting Tesla, boycotting, how in your view does that further the environmental cause as a Tesla owner?
All right, so let's say like does he lose ownership of it and someone else have the ownership of it? Because I don't know why they think he's so damn intelligent because he bought Tesla. He don't have nothing to do with the technology of Tesla. He's not this intelligent guy that came up with this concept. Someone else
He
did.
actually was.
So he bought into it from money that he got from his father. So look at the history of that. So he's not this smart, this intelligent.
He got money from his father, and then he turned it into one of the biggest fucking companies in the world. How does that not mean he earned it? The fuck out of here. It's called capitalism.
Guy, he's an a-hole. He's just like Trump. He's
SpaceX, Neuralink, PayPal
he bought all of that. Come on. Okay. It's all about the money that he had where he acquired those companies.
If Elon were to leave Tesla, and I think the car brand itself and what they're doing is incredible because a lot of EVs don't really live up to what Teslas have. Yeah. And so, get rid of the craziness at the top, and then I think, overall, but Tesla itself is a great brand. Yeah. Elon needs to go. But I would sell my car to stick it to him 100%.
No.
Do you see any comparison here between this boycott of Tesla and perhaps the boycott of Bud Light? Is there a comparison there?
I'm looking at this other company, the Riva, blah, 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 blah. And right now, the cheapest one I've found so far is $78,000. Let me switch vehicles because that looks like... no, because that was the car. Yeah. The cheapest Rivian, which is the other EV company in America, their cheapest vehicle, according to their website, is... where did it go? $78,000. And it looks like a fucking Ford Bronco. So you want to get rid of Teslas and do other EV makers when their prices are almost double?
Or no?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because with Tesla, this whole thing has gotten violent. It has gotten where
because of liberals.
People's properties being damaged, where people are in danger. Whereas the whole Bud Light thing was just a thought process. It's like, I don't want to drink Bud Light. With this is violent crime. That's all it is violent crime.
I mean, I think it's different for you to go vandalizing people's cars is obviously kind of a little bit crazy. But I mean, to each their own. With everything happening, everyone boycotts brands that supports something or another. Yeah, so obviously, I understand.
Not the firebombing. What is the anger around Elon Musk? We just had somebody saying he's trying to get the country on the right track when it comes to ridding waste, fraud, and abuse.
So it looks like you can get Audi EVs. You can, stop. BMW. Okay, that's it. BMW EVs, you can get Dodge Charger Daytona EV. Why the fuck would you get a Dodge Charger as an EV? That's just fucking retarded. Fiats, obviously. Hyundai Genesis. Hyundai Ion IQ, whatever the fuck that is. A Kia Niro. Lucid Air, that kind of looks like a nice car. Yeah, I guess there are other EV companies out there, but the brand names on these ones are high. Like, I don't know what. Oh, there you go, Nissan Leaf. Yeah, I don't know.
government spending. What are your thoughts on that position?
Lies.
But a lot of these
Lies.
cars
He
are
don't
made
care
outside
about
the United
people.
States.
He only cares about himself. He's a very wicked person, and it just should not be supported. If y'all are humans and you care about other people, you shouldn't be doing. Can't put money in people's pockets like that.
What is he doing
So
that's
you
wrong, though,
you
in
work
your
for free?
view? Like, specifically, I guess.
He hates black people.
He hates black people?
Hmm.
That's not good.
I don't think so.
Did you say Trump or Elon? Hold on.
Like that.
What is he doing that's wrong, though, in your view? Like, specifically, I guess.
Care about the people. He only cares about himself. He's a very wicked person, and it just should not be supported. If y'all are humans and you care about other people, you shouldn't be doing. Can't put money in people's pockets like that.
What is he doing that's wrong, though, in your view?
All right. Well, what she says is you should not donate any money to any politician because that's what exactly they do. So, there should not be any donations to any politician. Let's see how that works.
Like, specifically, I guess.
He hates black people.
Yeah, okay.
He hates black people?
Typical answer.
That's not good.
I don't think so.
So racist. Why do you say he hates black people?
Oh, we should just look at the. I mean, I'm not going to sit around here and give a whole list.
'Cause you
but
don't-
he definitely does
Just
not
give me
like black
one.
people, and that's good enough for me.
I feel like he's trying to find a way to grasp for power, and I think he's doing it in the wrong way. He has the most money that an individual person can have in the entire world. Why not use that in a way that benefits people? Why are you trying to impact?
Because when he does that, he gets hammered by the left-wing media saying he's buying votes. Well, the Supreme Court shot down that argument because now they're mad Elon's buying votes. Have they not seen George Soros? They forget about him. Have they not seen Bill Gates? They forgot about him. Jeff Bezos? Yeah, they forget about those people.
The average American.
Do you think Tesla benefits people?
No, I mean, as a
The largest EV company in the United States?
If they shared proprietary information and the whole point was to build a better EV network, then absolutely. But the infrastructure for the EVs in the U.S. is not great.
Then that's
What
not
do you
Elon's
see
fault.
the reason being for these attacks on Tesla?
Just remember that they built four charging stations in the entire country. 4. That's ridiculous. This is big charging stations, Tesla charging stations. So that's something to tell you. And they probably want to burn those 4 places down as well. And don't forget, we want to make everything EV. Remember what happened when we spent $400 billion making sure that every American in this country has broadband internet access? I remember. They spent the $400 billion. You know how many people currently in this country that don't have broadband internet access? Because it was supposed to be free or affordable. 0. Seemed like a pretty good achievement.
People are dissatisfied that someone who, while they are a naturalized U.S. citizen, has a foreign influence in their government. And honestly,
So does every politician. Why is Gavin Newsom visiting China? Why did Gavin Newsom invite President Xi to San Francisco? And he didn't get slack for that. Slack. Why not?
home in my government, if something like that were to happen, I'd be pretty pissed off about it too.
I support cutting government funding, but I support it being done correctly and properly and wisely.
You know, I know people who every week had to hand in 5 things they did last week. That stupid email that he sent.
Is that too much?
I don't think it's stupid. My wife still
When
sends
it
it,
comes
and
to that
everyone's
email, is that
done.
just crossing the line?
Well, it's just stupidity.
I don't
think he deserves to.
It's 5 things. 5 fucking things. I guarantee you, I can tell you 5 things I did last week. I woke up, took a shower, took a shit, I ate food, and I smoked some weed. 5 things. That easy.
To have a seat at the table. I don't think he belongs in government, and I think he's just a rabble-rouser troublemaker.
Okay.
And I think he's more trouble than he's worth. Do you like what Elon Musk is doing when it comes to,
Elon wasn't any trouble up until
Absolutely.
6 months
I'll
ago.
tell you why. Because I used to work for the fraud unit for the Inspector General back in the day, and that's all I did was investigate fraud, and it was bad then. I can't even imagine what it's like now, hearing some of the things that they've discovered.
And even under Joe Biden's administration, they were saying that there's, on average, per year, over $500 billion of fraud per year. It's probably much worse than that, but when it comes to Doge, they're looking for rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse. Why so much pushback on that, do you think?
I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it. I think it the same thing I thought back in the day when I worked for the IG. You have a lot of money that is getting funneled all over this country to different entities, different organizations.
Blue,
and it's a money train is what it is. And I have no problem with grants. My wife's in education, been an educator for 32 years, as long as we've been married. I've been in law enforcement. My son is in law enforcement. The support has to be there for all of those things. But we can't just be stupid with spending money. We just can't be.
I want to know where my tax dollars are going. And it looks like from what I see, he's trying to account for every dollar being spent.
Can I just add that this man was not elected by us, and he should not be doing anything that affects.
Yes, he wasn't elected by us, but I knew he was going to be part of Donald Trump's administration, so I voted for Donald Trump. I mean, I was already going to vote for Tulsi. I was going to vote for RFK. I mean, what do you want me to fucking do? He brought those people in.
Affects government jobs and people's money and Social Security and blah 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 blah, because we didn't vote for him.
Yeah. So are you against the federal government having any people that are not elected but working within the administration as advisors? Are you for getting rid of advisors?
No, I don't think I said
What's
that.
he saying?
But he's standing in the Oval Office. He's standing next to the president and making
wrong with that?
pronouncements. He's at cabinet meetings. Who the hell is this guy?
You know who else is at cabinet meetings? Joe Biden. Joe Biden wasn't elected. Why was Joe Biden in the cabinet meetings? Nobody ever said anything about that. It's stupid. Who cares who's in the cabinet meeting?
It's
So
Elon
he
Musk.
Can buy, in other words, if you have billions, you can buy yourself a seat on the board, and you can be
What
there.
board?
Do you support, we're getting to like the sole reason of the boycott here basically, but do you support downsizing for the federal government? Last year, $1.8 trillion deficit, we're $37 trillion in debt.
I said that I don't think there are too many people that wouldn't say government is too big and has
So
a
what's
lot of
the
places where it
issue?
could be cut. That's not the issue. It's throwing people off their paychecks, and they've got families at home, and they've got to pay the mortgage, and they're just cut.
Doesn't that happen in the private sector though?
Yep.
Does it happen in such numbers as this?
Yeah, actually.
Maybe.
Why do you like what Elon Musk is doing?
I feel like the
See,
push
she's
against
thinking about the broad picture of the whole United States. Now, imagine in a town, those Doge cuts hit. That hits a little different than it would the whole country.
woke mind virus. A lot of people, I think it's gone too far. If you look at his political views, he's actually pretty far to the left. Like 10 years ago, he hasn't left the Democratic Party, they've left him.
I think they're uneducated, because if you knew about Tesla, you would know that the cameras are constantly recording. So all these people that are walking past Teslas and keying them or putting feces on the handles, totally against it.
That's
Well, you tell people that are in support of vandalizing Teslas, firebombing Cybertrucks, protesting, stuff like that.
It's not going to stop the movement. It's still going to happen. What's going to happen is going to happen.
Lock them up, teach them a lesson. Until we start locking people up for these kinds of things, it's just going to keep on happening.
I think people just want a purpose in life, and I don't blame them, honestly, completely, but No reason to act retarded, if you know what I mean.
All right, everyone, that is it for today. So we found a bunch of unique perspectives. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please
So the equivalent of them burning a Tesla, because they don't agree with Tesla. I'm sorry, Elon Musk. It's not Tesla they don't agree with. Is it okay if I burn down, companies, buildings that I don't agree with, and their policies? I don't think that would be okay. I mean, maybe if I was darker, but I don't think that would be okay. And now we're going to get into why we're really here. The Miracle Village right outside St. Pete and another city that is named I just can't pronounce. It's not in here. But its nickname is Pervert Park. I originally did this a few years ago because this is going to be from 2019. But the reason I re-brought it back up is because it came across my timeline for an EWU. So I was watching it, I was like, wait a second. I remember that place. And this was 10 months ago. These EWU and Tyler Oliveira video. So we're going to go through all three of them in the order that they were released. So this first one's 60 Minutes Australia, which is weird why Australia's doing a segment on it, not the United States. But that's, no big deal.
It conjures up thoughts we never want to have.
Oh, by the way, they're going to tell you the location of this little village.
Of monsters preying on innocent children. As reviled as they are, though, pedophiles lurk in greater numbers than most of us know, and ignoring they exist won't cut it anymore. In America, I've just visited one of the most confronting places I've ever been. A trailer park that's entirely inhabited by pedophiles and other sex offenders who've served their prison sentences and have nowhere else to live. This village of the damned is set up for our protection and theirs, but it's also testing a new controversial theory, and the results might surprise you. St. Petersburg, on Florida's west coast, is a postcard-perfect playground, except for one thing. Not far from these beaches, hiding in plain sight, is a trailer park full of registered sex offenders. The 120 residents here are convicted rapists, child sex abusers, and addicts of child pornography. So, every one of the people here are the neighbours that no one else really wants to have.
Absolutely. They're not in my backyard people.
The village of the damned.
I refer to us as the societal lepers of the 21st century.
Showing me around this godforsaken underworld is Bill Fury, a convicted child molester. He's lived here for a decade and is surprisingly open about what makes someone like him commit the most deplorable acts against children.
I did what I did. I know why I did it. I know how I did it. I know how I went about it. It was a setup, a predatorial action. I was a predator. I did that.
Still are.
But as sickening as this place is, it could hold the key to answering one of the biggest questions of our time. How do we stop pedophiles from offending in the first place?
Will come out here with me, teddy bear?
Pervert Park houses one of the largest concentrations of sex offenders in the United States.
I'm not innocent of having the images.
You did view it?
And I did view it, yeah.
It was set up 10 years ago as a solution to Florida's strict probation.
It was set up 10 years ago. One of the residents has been in there for 15 years. The fucking thing, I'm just going to tell you. It's half a mile from a fucking high school. The high school has been there since 2005. And even worse, there's a daycare nearby.
Laws, which forbid convicted pedophiles from living within 300 metres of kids. Over the years, it's become a safe haven for society's most hated human beings. There's not really any way to sugarcoat this place. It's frankly not a great spot to live. The conditions here are very cramped. Everyone has a dark, sinister history, and the atmosphere is, well, it's unpleasant. That said, Florida police say it works. Now, you'd think having such a concentration of sex offenders in one place would be a recipe for disaster. But law officers claim for them it centralises the potential problems. It also helps them to track down offenders after they leave prison. And for the residents here, it creates a kind of self-regulation.
Sex offenders know sex offenders better than anybody because we are each other.
So you'll call each other out?
Absolutely.
What's that like, being labelled a sex predator?
You don't call each other out because you don't even talk to each other. How the fuck you calling each other out?
I don't know, it's kind of surreal. You know, it's just...
You never thought of yourself as one of those?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I mean, but if you think about it, what does a predator do? It cuts the weak and the young out of the pack and it preys. Okay, that's what I did.
So it fits?
I think it does. I absolutely think it does.
You'd be hard-pressed finding a more candid or repentant child molester than Bill Fury.
What I did was wrong.
So you've owned that?
Oh, absolutely. I inflicted harm on other human beings that I have no right to inflict.
Can you describe to me, what did you do?
Well, I have this girlfriend with a 12-year-old daughter, and I was at her house one night while she was working. Bottom line is I offended sexually against somebody defenseless, somebody young, somebody that didn't deserve it.
And she was 12 or 13?
12 or 13. Obviously too young to be exposed to what I exposed her to.
Bill spent almost 20 years behind bars.
That's it.
And underwent intense therapy. But he tells me he doesn't think he's been cured.
Yeah, this is what the kicker is.
The 56-year-old says the forbidden desires he acted on all those years ago are still present.
I don't think it'll ever go away.
An honest chomo.
You just learn how to manage it, how to control it, how to not feed it.
So that feeling is still there with you?
The desire? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Research varies, but even on the lowest estimates, there are millions of pedophiles worldwide.
That's it.
They walk among us every day. James, how many pedophiles do you think you've seen over the years?
Wow. I'd be surprised if I haven't broken 1,000.
Dr. James Cantor is a neuroscientist specialising in atypical sexualities. When it comes to pedophilia, he's reached important but uncomfortable conclusions, including why pedophiles are attracted to children in the first place.
All the evidence suggests that pedophilia begins in the womb. A person does not pick it, and despite every kind of treatment that has been attempted over a century, nothing has been shown to be able to change these people from pedophiles into non-pedophiles.
By exploring the brains of convicted pedophiles using MRI scans, Dr. Cantor discovered a dramatic cross-wiring in the connective tissue. His controversial research found that pedophiles are victims of nature.
They're
It's
not
not
victims,
that these
period.
areas of the brain are different in the pedophiles, it's that the network that they're supposed to form isn't connected properly. So it's accidentally identifying things in the environment that should evoke a parental nurturant instinct, but instead it's provoking a sexual and erotic instinct.
From all the science,
Well, it means there's no cure.
From all your science, did it answer the question, are pedophiles born or made?
Interestingly, the science in general says that pedophiles appear to be born, not made.
Because that's a big call, isn't it?
It is a big call.
Because some people will see that as almost making an excuse for
Yep.
pedophilia.
Oh, many people will make many different interpretations, but the place to start any kind of policy is this is biological and it's not going to change.
So that means
Dr. Cantor
people are born
argues
right.
that means, rather than condemn people born with something they can't control, we need to start helping them before they offend.
They already offended.
And incredibly, he says many pedophiles actually don't want to act on their urges.
Pedophilia is not a synonym for child molestation, which is how most people think. Pedophilia is the genuine, underlying, unchanging sexual interest in children.
But isn't that the same thing?
No, child molestation is the actual behavior that harms a child.
But you're splitting straws there a little bit, aren't you?
No, not at all.
You're saying that the definition of pedophilia is the attraction, but it doesn't mean they're going to do it.
Exactly. A pedophile, there exists a group, for example, called the virtuous pedophiles. These people recognize that they're sexually interested in children, have never touched one, and they essentially swear themselves to a life of celibacy.
How is it possible for them to suppress that sexual urge for their entire lifetime?
I can't imagine that kind of a curse. And we as a society, the only thing we can do, the thing that would most protect our children, is to help them do that.
Coming up.
I've got a sexual attraction to children.
But this man says he's not a danger.
We do know the difference between right and wrong.
So can he be trusted? Have you ever been tempted?
You can never trust another pedophile.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
It was Saturday afternoon, November 10th, and
Stories of child sexual abuse dominate nightly news bulletins.
two brothers aged 8 and 11 inside one of the public toilets.
Pedophiles, it seems, are all around us.
Alleged ringleaders of a child-stealing syndicate.
90% of sex offenders live undetected in the community.
But research has now discovered not all of them are molesting children. And remarkably, there is such a thing as a good pedophile.
No. The fuck does that mean? That's an oxymoron.
This whole notion of a non-offending pedophile seems, frankly, a bit hard to believe. But we're about to meet a man here in Melbourne who calls himself exactly that, a virtuous pedophile. Now, for obvious reasons relating to his personal safety, he doesn't want to disclose his identity. So we've agreed to meet him at a neutral location in a city hotel so he can tell us all about his tortured existence. Kira, as he's known online, works in tech and spends his free time watching soccer and cricket. He sounds like any other ordinary bloke, but that all changes the moment he sits down.
I've got a sexual attraction to children.
Are you uncomfortable being labelled a pedophile?
It's a difficult word, but
that's true.
It's technically true.
What age for a sexual partner would you find attractive?
In a purely physical sense, I would say 7, 8 years old.
Kira says he first became aware of his disturbing attraction to little boys when he was a teenager.
When I was around about 15, I was going through school. I was looking at boys, I was finding them sexually attractive, but as I was growing older, I wasn't attracted to boys my own age. You know, post-puberty, I was more attracted to the younger ones.
When that realisation dawned upon you, and then you bring the word pedophile in, that must have been very confusing.
It was. You associate with monsters, you know, and it's very, very, very hard then to realise that, hang on a minute, I'm not a monster, I've got a morality. I could never bring myself to do something like that. But then you think you've got this dark secret inside you as well, and you think...
But Kira isn't alone. Online, there's a hidden population of people just like him. Thousands of self-confessed pedophiles who meet and chat, often anonymous.
A virtuous pedophile, right? They were just trying to be their friends. They were just there for them to talk to. They were, teaching them about sexual. Wait, that makes it okay, right?
Anonymously in forums.
I went through that period of, of self-hatred and, trying to change myself.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you.
Todd Nickerson is one of these so-called virtuous pedophiles.
Nickerson.
Based in a small town in Tennessee, he
What?
outed himself publicly in 2015 to
What
shed
part of
light
Tennessee?
on this secret underworld.
I feel like, a great burden has been lifted off of me because, now people take me at face value. They know what I'm about. And, for better or worse.
The term virtuous pedophiles sounds like an oxymoron. But men like Todd and Kira claim, even though they're attracted to children, they've never acted on their sexual urges.
Right.
Are you all committed along those lines?
I would say most of them are fair dinkum about it. I don't trust that all of them are doing exactly what they say they are all the time.
I am a little bit cynical when it comes to that. I find it hard to marry up those two terms, non-offending and pedophile.
That's fair enough. Look, but you have to realise we are thinking people as well.
Have you ever been tempted?
So you know what
with
you're doing.
A child?
I wouldn't do that.
Have you ever been tempted?
I've been tempted, yes.
Have you ever carried it out? Ever carried that through?
No, I never have.
Not once?
Not once.
Oh.
But that behaviour is on a razor's edge, is it not?
It can be.
Got a weird iris or pupil.
The difference between virtuous pedophiles and the offenders living here at Pervert Park in Florida is these men chose to prey on the innocent. It's only now, after countless lives have been destroyed, that child molesters like Bill Fury are learning to control their sickening desires.
I really did want to do the work. I really did want to learn what was making me tick, what was making me be who I was. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't just an opportunity.
Yeah,
I was a predator. I did that.
It's the kind of unflinching self-reflection that's encouraged at on-site group therapy sessions.
What is it that instigates a person to act out in a sexual way?
Inside this room, offenders talk about what they did and how they can stop themselves from doing it again.
So then the question becomes, well, what do we do to not have that boundary crossed again?
Still, it'd be naive to
So don't
think
play
that
that shit
all
here.
pedophiles can be helped. 79-year-old Bobby was convicted for the possession of child pornography, but the grandfather remains unrepentant.
I never seen anything like this before. Being an old man looking at this computer, I don't see there's nothing wrong with looking.
But for someone
I don't see anything wrong about looking. There is.
For someone like you to just look, there has to be someone else who's doing it.
No.
Or being forced to do it.
Nothing whatsoever.
That's the problem with people like you who just look.
So it's okay to view child pornography for this guy? How is that even right? You too, Killicam. Respect. But, dude, it's okay to look? Is it just pictures? Is it just videos? I'm curious to see what this dude's phone has on it. He's got an ankle monitor. I think he's still got an ankle monitor. Are they still allowed to have fun? Actually, you know what? Yes, they're still allowed to have phones, and we're going to get to that in, I think, next video and the next video after that. So these motherfuckers do have cell phones with cameras.
I seen it. I enjoyed it.
So you deserve to be a registered sex offender.
Right. I enjoyed it, you know. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Even Dr. James Cantor, who advocates for non-offending pedophiles, admits there are certain types of sex offenders who should never be released from prison.
Look, he's got a cell phone in his hand.
What sort of
Oh, never
percentage of
mind.
pedophiles are psychopathic?
Probably a handful of a percent.
They are the worst of the worst.
Oh, absolutely. They are the people where society needs to protect itself. And the only way for society to protect itself against a genuine dangerous psychopath is to remove the person from society.
From life.
But for the most part, Dr. Cantor says we need to rethink the way we deal with pedophilia. Because right now, not enough is being done to ensure non-offending pedophiles stay that way.
The only situation that would change things is if we make it easier for them to come in. That would give us contact with pedophiles that we don't have contact with now.
What?
But if we're going to treat them like criminals, they will stay underground, and we're just back to where we started.
Look, as the expert, I can hear your confidence. But as a...
You don't think we should treat them like criminals once they get out? Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
parent, I think that's a huge leap of faith.
Yes, it is. But this is not the first time science has run into this. There are a lot of things that we know that are uncomfortable, but that doesn't make them wrong.
So how do we help our children by helping you?
What we do need to do is we need to start getting the message out that if you do have these feelings, you need to be reaching out. And as a society, we need to be providing a safe place. It's not about normalising paedophilia either. It's about just understanding that you are the way you are.
Are you convinced that you were made this way?
I don't believe there's a way I can change it. If someone were to offer me a magic pill saying, take this pill, you'll no longer be a paedophile, you'll be attracted to adults.
Listen, there is a pill that you can take. It's called cyanide.
Everything will be fine. I'll take the pill. But
or 45.
There is no pill like that. So the best thing I can do is just accept who I am and, you know, make the best of that situation.
Supporting instead of ostracizing pedophiles is a bold idea. But even if it works, the thought of doing anything to help the most despised human beings in society doesn't sit well. But if we believe the science, then right now there are hundreds of teenagers around the world coming to the realization that they're attracted to children too. And helping them might be the only option we have.
I know before I got arrested, there were many, many times when I wished there was some help. I knew there was something wrong with me, but you know, if I go into a doctor and I say, hey, look, I'm thinking about molesting little girls, by law, he has to report me. By law, I got to get locked up. So the only way I can get any help is to go out and hurt somebody.
Whoa.
I'm not blaming the system for what I did, don't get me wrong. But wouldn't it be awesome if you could just go get some help before you let it affect another human being?
And you think other non-offending pedophiles need to put their hand up?
Absolutely. I mean, just if nothing else, take my life as an example. I'm 56 years old. For the rest of my life, no matter what I do, no matter where I go, I'm gonna be that sexual predator.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna be the face of that monster. You don't want that.
Hello, I'm Liam Bartlett. Thanks for watching.
That is fucking crazy that he said that. Basically saying he is a constant threat.
And he just...
He's a constant threat to society. And he knows he is. So why is he just hanging out in a park, half a mile from a high school, walking distance from a fucking daycare? Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So this one was from 11 months ago. It's Tyler Oliveras. They got the police call on him, obviously because he was going through and harassing these motherfuckers, which, in my opinion, they deserve harassment. 24/7. We're gonna watch the body cam footage, and then we're gonna get in Tyler Oliveras' video, which came out a month after this one. So now we're kind of seeing it in a specific order.
Just kept trying to say, hey, well, we're going to sell you candy. You can't be here to sell candy and stuff. Yeah. You know? Oh, yeah, we know that. Well, you're offenders. Oh, okay, so what's your point? Right. Thanks for coming out, guys. Sorry to take you away from everything else, but this is getting ridiculous. My guys are feeling very threatened. You're going to harass me right now?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. You can't do that. You can't do that.
On the afternoon of March 27, 2024, when Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies respond to a call alleging disorderly conduct in the Palace Mobile Home Park, they're greeted by the complainant.
I don't want them obviously in the regular communities, but I feel like concentrating them in a specific area, that could be bad. They could turn it into a syndicate almost. And these guys have fucking cell phones, smartphones.
Charles.
Take pictures of everybody while they're going through, offering to buy candy bars. We were going to sell you candy bars. I told him he doesn't have the right to be.
Do you know these guys?
No.
No idea who they are?
No idea who they were, other than they came in here and wanted to tell everybody candy bars and stuff like that.
Charles Miljarek, a repeat offender and the manager of this park, was found guilty and convicted for the possession of a picture showing the performance of a child, and for lewd computer solicitation of a child. But a case that really dominates his criminal history has a closer connection with selling candy bars than one might expect, a subject that he is passionately complaining about right now. More about this later. The person Charles is complaining about is Tyler Oliveira, a popular YouTuber who has amassed over 6 million subscribers on YouTube. Tyler's investigative videos have earned him immense popularity. In 2023, Tyler was even featured on Fox News for his profile on Miracle Village, a community in Palm Beach County, Florida, that's also home to a large population of offenders. On the morning of March 27, 2024, when Tyler Oliveira visits this trailer park to make yet another viral video, things take a horrible turn in a direction nobody could have anticipated.
They seem like they were under the influence or anything?
No, not under the influence, just being rude, obnoxious people.
Yeah. And did you notice them like on a public street? Were they actually knocking on doors?
No, they were driving around, approaching everybody that's living in here, sitting here, and then they were knocking on a few doors on the back road here. When I caught them, they were knocking on doors.
As this case progresses, 2 other residents from this trailer park will play a prominent role along with Charles. The man in the red shirt, William Fury, is a repeat offender who has emerged as a public face of the mobile home park in recent years.
12.
He's been charged with criminal mischief, performing a lewd act in the presence of a child, battery, and failing to register as an offender. In a 2014 documentary titled Pervert Park, Fury explained that he got in trouble when his girlfriend's 12-year-old daughter came into his room to model underwear, at which point he gratified himself in front of her. The quiet man in the corner is Kenneth William Sermon, another one who made it on the offender registry on the charges of lewd behavior in the presence of a child.
Were they trying to sell candy or were they giving out candy?
Sell candy.
Okay. Anything in particular? Was it just like out random
Chocolate
stuff?
bars.
Chocolate bars out of a
He said it was a Buster bar or something.
Okay. Did it seem legitimate? Like, you know what I mean? Like Girl Scout cookie type thing? So it just seemed more along the lines of them just trying to get you worked out.
Stuff.
If it's not clear why someone would want to disturb the residents of the park under the guise of selling candy, what Charles says next to Deputy Kowalski may help shed some light on this unusual situation.
You made contact with him and what happened?
And he just kept trying to say, hey, well, we're going to sell you candy. I said, you're not, like on the phone I was saying, it's wrong. You can't be here to sell candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Well, you're offenders. Oh, okay, so what's your point?
Right.
Indeed, this isn't just about Charles, but a reality of every resident of the mobile home park as a whole. Starting in 2007, a group called Florida Justice Transitions has largely operated the park to provide housing to people who were on the offender list. Palace Mobile Home Park was often frequented by visitors who were curious to find out more about it. Charles tells the police that he has caught just such a person on video.
Cops are already on the way. Are you a offender? Are you? Yes, sir. Well, then get out of this car. Leave my property. You don't have rights to come in here and sell stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I already turned you over to the sheriff. Thank you very much. You turned me over to the sheriff? Yes, you're on property. You turned me over to the sheriff and you, sir. How you doing? Would you like my Mr. Beastbar? Okay.
What was that last thing?
Yeah. Registered sex offender with a smartphone.
I started talking in my ear.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would you like my Mr. Beastbar? Okay. Yeah, no, that was the last thing that I cut my phone.
Okay.
Stupid phone's cut off.
No worries. So
but the other guy in the car just kept taking pictures the whole time.
Yeah.
It's wrong to come in here and attack the guys like this.
They've never
seen
been here before. Okay.
As Charles continues to bring the officer up to speed from the events of the day, he further clarifies why the residents made note of this particular visitor.
Which kind of scares the residents a lot when you got people coming through doing that, taking pictures and all that stuff of them.
Yeah, I understand.
But you let
why they were taking the pictures.
Australia do it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, the thing with pictures is that if you're on a public street, public roadway, even like your backyard, if it's not totally enclosed and there's some expectation of privacy there, then you're open to take photos, right? Like if you're in a dressing room, a bathroom, your own residence, then you have some expectation of privacy. So if someone goes out of their way to take video of you there, now you have an issue. So would you like me to do a report for you, or do you want to just give us a call if they come back?
What do you think? Better to have the report?
I don't give legal. I'm not allowed to give legal advice. You're the reporting party. You're the one that.
Do you want it documented?
Yes, I would love it documented.
Okay.
Deputy Kowalski agrees to file an official report, which will make it easier to identify a pattern if the candy salesman should return, and he must respond to a repeat call, a scenario that will play out sooner than he likely imagines.
So the white male, you said 6 foot tall?
Yeah.
Age?
I'd say right around 30-ish.
Anything else you can tell about him? Do you have an accent, anything like that?
No, just normal. Just kept trying to push the candy bars and then kept calling, while you're all
candy bar,
all that stuff. Had nothing to do with selling candy bars, but then again, you have legal rights to sell candy bars. But hey, whatever.
Right.
There may be little criminal activity for Deputy Kowalski to record today, but he's right back at the Palace Mobile Home Park the next morning. The residents have called again, but this time, the subject of their complaints is still around when police arrive. It doesn't take long for things to go south.
Really doesn't.
Right, you, buddy?
So
what's going on?
Journalist, I've shop here, trying to talk to the guys a little bit.
So you were out here yesterday trying to sell them candy bars, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I had you on video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I suppose that may be tested in the court of law.
Okay.
But,
so what are we doing out here today?
We're really just trying to chat.
Chat with who?
Some of the residents here.
Why?
Just out of curiosity.
Curiosity of what?
See what led them here?
You got some idea on you, bud?
No.
What's your first name?
I'd prefer not to give it to you.
Okay, well, you're out here harassing these guys because you're out here doing the same thing yesterday, trying to sell them candy.
Soliciting and harassment.
It's clear from the outset that the young man with the microphone is not impressed with the deputy's authority, and it's only a matter of seconds before Kowalski decides to find another way to gain control of the situation.
I was trying to sell some candy bars, some Mr. Beast bars.
Yeah, you can buy them in any store. It's not like you're a Girl Scout going around anything like that. You're obviously
Speaking of Boy Scouts, in 1989, the park's manager Charles was placed in the Boy Scouts perversion files after he was convicted of in the 2nd and 3rd degree. Charles was prohibited from having contact with boys and girls under the age of 17 after he regularly 2 members of the Boy Scouts. This was just the tip of the iceberg, and the Boy Scouts suspected there were more victims.
Jesus.
In an affidavit, Charles said, quote, "I've been affectionate with other children and have hugged, touched, and kissed them, but I never had with any of them. I also..."
You know what I really like about the way they're putting this together? They're showing that, hey, maybe Oliveras was harassing them, but at the same time, they're telling you what these guys did in detail. I like it. It's an exposure.
So I've never forced anybody to have with me. Charles was sentenced to only 6 months imprisonment and 5 years probation.
Just trying to get likes and views on social media. So do you have some idea, or do you want to get detained for obstruction?
I mean, you can detain me, but am I under arrest? And if so, for what charges?
Harassment.
You're gonna harass me right now?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. That's, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Are you going to identify yourself or not?
Okay, I'm on public property.
Are you going to identify
You can't strong arm me.
yes or no?
We're going to court over this if you want.
Are you going to go ID yourself, yes or no?
I can ID myself. You gotta let go of the arm, though.
You're going to ID yourself,
Sure,
yes or no?
I'll ID myself.
Okay.
You gotta
Where's
let
your
go of the
ID?
arm. It's in my pocket.
Which pocket?
My right pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
Get your ID.
Okay, let's not strong arm, though.
Then let's not play games.
Okay, I won't play games, but you can't do that.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. When you're harassing people and committing a crime, I can detain you.
Deputy Kowalski's interactions with the young man on the sidewalk are certainly a marked contrast with how he acts with Charles and the other residents.
This guy's a real...
Yeah, he's just trying to push the waters for likes and views. Might be a sovereign citizen, but it's most likely just social media. That's why he's got the microphone for this camera.
I still don't get that whole sovereign citizen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's that, and then they do the cop audits or whatever, and so they're just trying to catch us slipping up, and then that way they can get a lawsuit. And they also get likes and views because there's plenty of people out there that don't like law enforcement, so it is what it is.
We typically don't have problems around here without this crap. No. We got 180 offenders to keep in mind.
For now, Deputy Kowalski's main concern is getting an
bro.
ID from the man on the sidewalk.
Okay, I'll be honest. It's actually in the car.
It's in the car?
It's in the car.
Okay, what's your name?
Tyler. You can take my name. It's public. It's Tyler Oliveira. Can I get your badge number? Yes, sir.
What's your middle name, Tyler?
So, Officer Kowalski, why are you strong-arming me?
What's your last name?
Here.
What's your name?
They took out the dude's badge number? Weird.
Oliveira. Oliveira. Tyler Oliveira. Officer, why do you think it was warranted to strong-arm me just now?
What's your date of birth?
Don't let these guys know.
What's a good address for you?
I prefer not to say.
What's a good address for you?
I don't want them to know. Can I say it to you in confidence? Okay. Can I give it to you in confidence?
What's a good number for you?
I really got to get my phone number.
No, you don't.
Genuine questions. What would that be used for? Officer, help me out here.
You're not required to know.
All right. Ready?
Tyler reluctantly gives his identifying information to Deputy Kowalski before questioning why he's being detained in the first place.
But I'm on public property right now.
You're on public property right now, but you're still bugging the same gentleman that you were bugging yesterday.
I didn't mean to. He came to me.
He came to you?
Yes, sir. Not in me, but to me. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can't get him.
Why are we out here?
Genuine curiosity, but it seems like
Curiosity of what?
how the individuals got here, how life has been, etc. Like there's bigger things to handle here, perhaps.
That was an ambulance.
Stay right here. You're not free to go.
Tyler remains detained as Deputy Kowalski goes to collect more information from the complainants. Again, the contrast in the deputy's demeanor is remarkable.
Charles, so what's going on today, man?
Well, you see what this guy is doing.
Did he come on the property today?
Yeah, both him and his buddy were both on the property.
Where's the buddy at?
He walked down the sidewalk. Oh, wait a minute.
Charles and his friends claim to have spotted Tyler's colleague waiting across the street at the gas station. Leaving him aside for the time being, Deputy Kowalski tries to gather more information about the day's events.
Charles, you're manager of the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he was just on here?
Yes, sir.
Today?
Yeah. Him and the guys.
What was he doing on the property today?
Same thing he was doing yesterday, going around door to door talking to people about being offenders and, you know, if the public don't want you here and all this and that. At least he's not selling candy today. His glasses are filming people as he goes.
He's asking him what?
You know, questions like you're a offender and, you know, public don't want you here. The schools in the neighborhood don't want you here. Things like that.
Daddy must be proud of how his college money's being spent.
Oh, yeah.
The irony of that comment is not lost on anyone, and one can only wonder how proud his father feels about his crimes.
Yeah.
How many times did you communicate to him that you didn't want to
See, what were his crimes? Oh yeah, we did the failure to register, battery on someone under 12, lewd assault under 16.
Proud his father feels about his crimes.
How many times did you communicate to him that you didn't want him here?
At least 37 times in the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
Every step he took.
Every step. Get off the property, you're not supposed to be.
So is he staying on the sidewalk at that point?
No,
back in.
through the whole park.
Okay.
I tell him to leave and stand on the sidewalk. As soon as we turned our back, he'd start following us back in the park with his cameras.
These have notches.
Sorry, my corporal's right here. We'll sort it out.
It's almost comical that child predators sit in judgment of someone else's conduct and behavior. Backup is on the scene, and because Deputy Kowalski anticipates what Tyler is going to tell his corporal first, he's quick to beat him to the punch.
It's the same guy from yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, I grabbed his arm. He didn't want to identify himself. He wants to sit here
You actually talked to Tyler first and then walked over there.
and play these games.
Does he want to leave? He said I failed to ID.
Yeah. So he didn't want to ID himself, so I was going to tell him
Is
he's
his
going
car still in here?
I'm not sure. Today he's walking around. They're telling me they don't want him here. He's just going door to door and things like.
Is there any management here, or do we have trespass authorization?
Yes.
Has a trespass been issued?
Not yet. Let's get into that.
Well.
I was going to go. Do you want to go harassment route, or do we need more than this?
Is he harassing?
He's just going door to door. He's not. He's going. Yeah, it's not direct. So I think it's more 48. Yeah. All right. You want to issue a warning?
Having gotten the scoop, the corporal has a chat with Tyler, choosing a lighter approach than the one favored by Deputy Kowalski.
Listen, it's on you, man. Do you want to give your name?
He already forced me to give it to him. Along with
Do
other.
you have it? Okay, then you're
You have my
trespassing on the
information?
property.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, you got the body cam.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you're free to
Well,
go.
I got you
You're
in
not-
4K
This
too.
gentleman has something to say.
Let's hear it.
Manager of the park, from now on, you are not allowed in this park.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Property line, or you or anybody representing you, property line is the sidewalk. You cannot come in this park, or we'll have you arrested.
Anything else?
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Would you like the handshake?
I don't see a sentence of no trespass.
Wish you a good day.
Listen, are you parked across the street?
Potentially.
Okay,
Yes, I
so
want.
just use the sidewalk. That's
Yes,
all.
sir.
And the crosswalk down here or down here. Okay.
Sure.
All right. You're free to go.
Not being detained?
Nope.
Kowalski, any last thoughts?
Come on, Dex.
Kowalski, was the arm grab essential?
So where do I find your videos?
Tyler Oliveira. He already has my name.
I saw it yesterday, so I saw you out here.
Yes, sir.
It's all good.
Trying to raise money.
Well,
The frost between Tyler and the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office has thawed somewhat with the arrival of the corporal, but back with the mobile home park residents, Deputy Kowalski is all business.
How long did this go on for today, Charles?
Well, he's been in here for a good hour. Over an hour.
Yeah. So you overheard me and Corporal talking about harassment because it's general and it's not specific to one person. That we really can't go that route. So it's just more trespass if he comes back. The other guy, we didn't issue him a trespass warning. So his friend comes back, we can issue a trespass warning at that time. But today it's just him. So if he comes on the property, he stays, walks on that line on the sidewalk, he's fine. But as soon as he crosses the property line, then that's when he's in trouble. So just pull out your camcorder, whatever, your phone, and then just record him. If he's on the property, we can at least refer charges.
You just said record them with your phone. So I guess they are allowed to have phones. Smartphones.
To the state.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Sorry to take you away from everything else, but this is getting ridiculous. My guys are feeling very threatened. Especially yesterday with the candy bars.
On May 14th, 2024, less than 2 months later, Charles will be arrested on a charge of simple battery in an unrelated incident. This, of course, isn't the first time he's been in trouble with the law, and yet a lesser-known fact is that Charles feels threatened by a YouTuber and candy bars. That leaves only Tyler and the corporal, who wants to know more about the YouTuber's intentions.
can I just ask, like, what with the purpose? Like, I know that this has a known persona.
Well, I don't know if it's persona. I think we can look it up on the registry.
Right.
With that being said, I mean,
Are you doing like an investigative thing? Or are
yeah,
you
we're
doing...
trying to just knock and talk.
Yeah,
They don't
well,
want the chocolate bars.
Unlike Kowalski, the corporal keeps it professional with both sides of the issue and de-escalates the situation.
Well, you can kind of understand why they didn't want somebody walking through just questioning everybody, right?
Yeah, but
Sticking a microphone in their face.
Well, the microphone was pretty discreet.
I saw it.
The escalation of the conversation was...
Just don't come back on the property.
I won't come back.
Don't send anybody else.
I'm not sending anybody. I'm done. That is a verbal promise in 4K.
Tyler Oliveira or whatever?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is it
Subscribe?
YouTube?
YouTube.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
Maybe so.
All right.
I mean, genuinely...
That's my biggest problem with YouTube is them deleting comments, especially in other people's chats. So that's why it's so much easier for me to say what the fuck I want. Like this.
I feel like we tried to give an honest shake and
Well,
share the story, and we're just a little curious.
I understand.
Yeah.
But your curiosity did, fell on deaf ears, and they don't want
That's
you
fair.
out here. So.
But also, it's getting a little shiesty.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I'll look into that. He's got body cam on, so.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
I mean, I got the whole thing on camera.
Tyler,
Yeah.
are you gonna hang out here?
No, I'm out.
All right, buddy.
I appreciate
Take care. Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Tyler leaves with a mandate to stay on the sidewalks and off the property, a piece of advice that the youth of St. Petersburg have perhaps heard from their parents. That's especially likely in the case of children who attend the local daycare or go to the nearby middle school, both of which are located less.
Look at that. The park, 1 block away, a preschool. 2 blocks away, the elementary school. No, that's a high school. This is the high school that's been here in 2005. That guy that owns that park started there 5 years after that. And then now there's 120 people in there.
Less than half a mile away from the trailer park. As for Tyler Oliveira, he posted his investigation of Palace Mobile Home Park on April 7, 2024, just 11 short days after the incident. In the video, Tyler said, quote, "I posed zero threat or intent to harm, and dog is out here getting physical." He called on...
So we have an overview of what Pervert Park was. We have an investigative journalist going through trying to talk to the residents of Pervert Park. And then obviously, you got people get pissed off, the body cam, because got trespassed. Now let's look at it from a different point of view.
We're about to get sicked by convicted sex offender's dog right now. Get off my property, asshole! The sidewalk! Are you too stupid to know asphalt from concrete? Are you stupid to not ask for consent?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. This is Pervert right there. Look at this. Wow. So we got again my interview.
Normally I don't watch
longer, the younger girls. What did you do to end up here?
I do remember this.
You're gonna cold cock me? But before I asked these sex offenders how they got here, I wondered how the locals felt about their neighbors and if they should be allowed to live there. As I drove to the Waffle House to begin my interviews, I saw this. A daycare right there. Look at this. Wow. So we got Rosie's
And look at the
Preschool
fence.
for infants, home-cooked meals, 7 to 5 p.m. A lot of parents probably go to work, leave their kids here. And we got Pervert Park right across the street. My suspicion is a lot of families probably do not feel super comfortable with
They
convicted
probably
sex
don't
offenders
know.
being right there. Anyone that lives in the trailer park could easily come out here and just watch, which is why this is creepy. It says, please close gate for the safety of your children. There may be some questionable people out here lurking and watching. What did the parents think about how close these sex offenders were to their kids' daycare? How do you feel about Pervert Park, 120 convicted sex offenders being right there?
Yeah, I hate it. I feel like, burn it down, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a parent, man. I got 6 kids.
You send your kids to daycare around here?
Just this one right here for now. This is the only one that had availability for the moment.
So you go to work, you have to put the kids in daycare. Does it make you feel weird knowing those people are right over there?
I mean, I'm not comfortable with it,
Yeah.
but I still have to go to work. I'm a full-time student. I don't really have a choice other than bringing her here.
Do you wish they would move the people there somewhere else, more remote?
Well, I'm surprised they haven't.
Me too. I don't get it. It's crazy.
They gotta live somewhere.
Yeah. Would you wish they were more remote and in the middle of nowhere? No? So there's no conflict with the locals and them?
They gotta live.
When did you learn that that place hosted 120 convicted sex offenders?
Not long.
You need a place to live. How about in towns with no schools? That's a good start.
How long ago?
Like a year ago, I figured that out.
Did it disturb you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's unnerving. Pisses me off. I feel like they should be somewhere not as close to like a school or
I agree.
daycare. I get it. It's like they're people too, but it's like
No.
Well, let me just tell you this too.
Yeah.
There's no lock here,
Yeah,
so
pay
anybody
attention.
can go in.
That's not what we want to hear.
It's always been a problem, but no one's really brought it into light, and I'm kind of glad that you are.
Thank you for sharing. Look, she just opened the gate. She walked in. It's that easy. Where do you think these people should be put?
way out in the woods or put to death.
Appreciate your honesty. I'm sure a lot of people agree. We're going to try to infiltrate, see if we can get...
Anybody can walk in that gate. Anybody.
on a scoop.
No. Maybe in a mask rave, Junie.
Hey, right on, bro.
These convicted sex offenders could quite literally get in the car, park over here, chill with some binoculars if they wanted to. Not trying to give ideas out here, but this is one of the only daycares, this mom said, that had availability, allowing her to place her kid here while she goes to work. She said her voice has not been heard.
Yeah,
We're
imagine
going
that
to give her
daycare.
voice a megaphone here and hopefully make some change. But not every local felt the same about living next to these sex offenders. You got kids?
I do. I have 6.
Okay, I would imagine you gotta feel some type of way.
I believe in Jesus Christ, and everybody has an opportunity to change if they welcome him in.
Fair?
I think we should take it work for them for free as slaves.
As slaves.
See why I have a problem with being religious like that? The Bible says forgive. Does the Bible say it's okay to fuck kids?
The rest of their lives, till the day they die, that's what God say.
Fair? Bye.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I think they should be supervised.
Sure.
But I forgive.
Do you think there's opportunity for them to reform and?
It's a hard one for them.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be around somebody somewhere.
Sure.
Do you want to tempt them with a school? No, but how far do you get them away, and when is it not a temptation? There's a bus line right here.
That is true, but if you put them a bird's eye view, it's a little bit.
Then you want to put them in jail.
The secondary option might just be to put them in the middle of nowhere.
Then how are they going to work? How could they ever make a recovery?
A self-sufficient society.
Yeah, we used to do that with blacks. It doesn't work. You can't separate out.
What does race have to do with?
You can't separate out groups and say you can't be part of society.
Sure you can.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm called by Christ not to do that. I'm called by Christ to forgive and take care of everyone.
So you don't
He
think
is my Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
You know what my God says? Kill them all. That's what I say.
Okay? And he takes care of me.
No
He blesses me
forgiveness,
every
period.
day. Judge not, lest ye be judged.
Fair. I don't even know if it's about judgment, but more so the practical logistics of putting them in a position not to.
Judgment that they will repeat.
I suppose it's risk management, perhaps.
It's flat out judgment.
There's a little kid.
I
home,
like
right
that.
across the street. Look at that. Right across the street. That's unbelievable. That ain't right. What are your thoughts on them being so close?
I don't know how that happens.
I don't know how it's legal.
No, it can't be.
That'd be getting rid of them all, man. Yeah?
Put them in jail or something.
Would you hope that they would not live so close to kids?
You would think. You'd think there'd be some kind of law against it.
It's really unsafe, but you know, everybody gotta live.
After hearing the split opinions from the locals, I headed to the Waffle House right across the street from Pervert Park. I'm sure Waffle House has seen some shit out here. Question for y'all. You guys know where Palace Park is? Like Pervert Park?
Oh, that one's right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
What? So is the deal that sex offenders live there? Child molesters?
Sex offenders, every one of them.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? What do you think?
I say can exterminate them all.
Exterminate?
Base.
Why do you think they're so close to the school over there, the daycare?
They probably be far. They must be far enough away because they got to go somewhere because they won't let you kill them. And I'd be in prison. Nothing happens to them in prison.
What do you think the city should do with these people?
I say they exterminate them. I got grandkids. I say kill them. You know, if you're not going to do that, I say you cut off their hands and their feet.
Yeah. One guy said enslave them for life.
Yeah, well, now they got people saying don't call them mat people, minorly attracted people. Because it hurts their feelings.
Sure. If they can't help themselves and they're close to a daycare or the school.
And you heard that one guy says
Oh,
that
absolutely. Yeah. They always catch
that temptation is always going to be there.
Sure.
So where are you going to find a child molester?
Disneyland.
Wherever you can get around kids. You know, Mickey Mouse could be naked under that uniform. You don't know
Oh.
what he's wearing.
That's a great
Actually,
Having
that's
kids and
a good.
older kids. And listen, I'll shoot him and tell the police I did it. I don't give a fuck.
Nice guy. That being said, it's raining pretty hard. I'm gonna try to go in there. After confirming the park was in fact right across the street, I bought some Mr. Beast bars from 7-Eleven and headed to Pervert Park
Mr.
under
Beast
the guise
bars.
of selling chocolate to raise enough money to go to Disney World. After selling them the chocolate, I would then convince them to tell me how they ended up here. Let's go talk to some predators. Hey there. How are you? I'm trying to sell chocolate bars to raise money to go to Disney World. Wait, excuse me, sir.
Sir?
Excuse me, sir. Well, if you won't buy something, hear me out. Do you know anyone who might be interested in buying one chocolate bar? I'm just trying to rate $3 a pop. Real quick, sir, one last question.
Oh.
One last question.
No.
Are you a sex offender?
No, I'm not.
You're not a sex offender? What did you do to get here? Are you sure, sir?
Look, leave me alone. Get out of hell. You like to be in here.
Well, I'm selling some chocolate bars, sir.
Maybe he was
Is
around.
this the Pervert
Same
Park? Where did I
time.
go? No.
Your business, what the hell
Right.
it is.
All
No,
right.
genuinely.
Just leave.
Genuine question, sir.
Leave.
Sir, genuine question.
No, I'm not going to hear you well. I'm going to call.
Call the cops? While I might have felt bad soliciting this old man to buy chocolate, turns out Donald here had molested a child between the ages of 12 and 15. So I kept on knocking on doors. Knock, knock. Hey there. Do you know where I'm at, miss? I'm trying to sell some chocolate bars.
Why are you walking through here?
What do you mean?
Why are you walking through this mobile home park? Are you going door to door?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
What do you mean?
Don't
It's
do
a
that.
woman.
A lot of these people don't want to be closet.
Why not?
I get it, you're trying to sell, but sometimes be careful where you're at. You do best not walk it again. I'm just gonna say that to you. Know where you're at.
While these sex offenders seem to have no issue violating children without their consent, it seemed like soliciting chocolate bar sales is where they drew the line. Hey there, I'm selling some chocolate bars to raise funds to go to Disney World. Would you guys be interested in buying anything? So I got milk chocolate feastable, $3. No, sir? Let me just show you the flavors real quick. No? Diabetic. You're diabetic? Yeah. Diabetic. You guys both diabetics? Ain't no way both of y'all diabetics. Is it, is the sex offender thing real out here? Yeah. Yeah? You guys know anyone out here? Yeah. Are you guys sex offenders? Yeah? Oh, everyone is. What'd you guys do to end up here?
Fishing in a public park.
Really?
Yeah. I was about 27, 28.
Just whipped your dong out, took a piss?
In a public park.
What's the worst story you've heard out here?
I haven't talked to
be asking out here every section private.
I see. It seemed like no one wanted to talk, and the park boss, Charles Leslie Milkserek, was found guilty in 2006 for knowingly possessing CP and for attempting to solicit sex from a child, hated solicitors. Hey there. How you doing, sir? Can I help you? Yes, sir. Would you like to buy some chocolate bars?
What? Smartphone.
Mr. Beast Bar?
Get out of my park. Cops are already on the way.
Are you a sex offender?
Are you?
No, sir.
Well, then get out of this park.
What's the problem?
Leave my property. You don't have rights to come in here and sell stuff.
I apologize. All right, all right. Would you turn yourself into the sheriff? How you doing? Would you like to buy a Mr. Beast Bar?
Gotcha.
Are you a sex offender?
Goodbye.
Are you a sex offender? What's the problem here? I can't sell chocolate bar?
Just explain that to you.
Why y'all hating? Listen, man.
Oh, show me too. I like this. I love it.
Say what's up. So what did you do to end up here? What did you do to end up here?
Gotta go cold cock your ass.
Oh. You gonna cold cock me?
That's how you got in there?
All right. See you guys. All right, I guess they're not buying chocolate. Just chill out. You might be wondering how I found his mugshot, his name, his address, and honestly, even if you're not a sex offender, your personal information is your silly me. Found that 91. Ash Tyler for Park and get some confessions. Before we begin phase 2 of my plan to infiltrate Pervert Park and get some confessions, I want to explore the nearby area and see who else might be affected by this community of sex offenders. And we immediately found this down the street. A high school. We have Lealman Innovation Academy, a high school full of children, and 2-minute drive away is Predator Park, full of 120 plus convicted sex offenders. How is that possible? But even more disturbingly, I was surprised to learn that the parents sending their children to this high school had no clue what it was right next to. Excuse me, miss? Can interview you about the school being so close to the community of sex offenders where there's like 120 convicted sex offenders, 2-minute drive away? Wait till you see what happens here. Did you know about that?
No, my son goes to this school.
He goes to school?
Here for years.
Okay, so there's a place called Predator Park. Trying to get like parents to hear their opinion on how close they are.
Just never knew that.
Okay, now you know.
School is not going to let us know that. As parents, we should know that. But I'm glad you told me that.
It's a literal 2-minute drive away.
Okay.
That's not it yet.
Thank you.
All right.
Watch.
Good to know. See ya. Come on, at least a PSA, public safety, don't walk through here
Oh,
on
is
your
this
way
not the
home.
one?
It ain't right. Why was the town of St. Petersburg hiding this dirty little secret in plain sight? Don't the parents and kids deserve to know? Hey there. What are your thoughts on living next to the sex offenders? We're doing a little documentary piece. We're trying to... Sex offenders. Hey, question for you, sir. Were you aware that there's 120 sex offenders over there?
Well, I have no idea.
No? Do you have any opinions on the proximity?
I didn't even know that was one.
Okay, so we're gonna pull up to the shopping center, see what the people have to say here. Let's see who we can talk to.
I've heard about the sex offender thing, whatever. I mean, I guess they have to have a place to live, right? But
sure. Daycare right there, school right there.
That's probably not the best place to house them.
But you're okay with it.
You know, it's a tough situation. So.
I think they could have found a better place. I mean, they do have to have somewhere to go to be able to rehab. I think it's probably like putting candy in front of a baby, putting them here. They just look a little longer, the younger girls. I think the temptation should be taken away. I don't think it's helping them by putting them in an area of temptation. I don't think putting them in the woods, that they're not animals. But I think that there should be a discussion about it.
And just so you understand, this is Pervert Park, this is how close the high school is, and this is how close the pre-K daycare is. Do you think there should be a separation between, let's say, someone who took a piss on a light pole and exposed their penis to the public versus someone who raped a kid?
No.
Look, the penal system is fucked up, right? So people have to have a chance to be reformed. You know, I will say this much, that, you know, look, man, if you fuck kids, you women, you're a fucked up individual. There's something mentally wrong with you. You know?
need what?
Then you have to have a place for these people. This was the point. You're talking about, okay, is it the same if somebody, you know, for public urination?
He's in public, you're drunk, and then you turn around, there's a kid watching, you're like, I'm going to jail for life.
I'll tell you a story about
There's
it.
plenty of times where I got fucking drunk and pissed in public. Most of the time it's night, and it was like behind the bar or on someone's door handle. I mean, if I had
The kid I was locked up with, right? So, or when he hooked up with the girl, he was, I think, 16,
that's what I'm saying.
and she was like 14, right? 13, 14. So they went through, had a kid and everything. Then there was a beef between him and her parents. Her parents called because she was still a minor. He was an adult at this point, and the man got locked up. Got put on the National Sex Offender Registry. They pressed charges. The judge decided to convict, and the man went to prison, you know, for being a sex offender. Now, at that point, he was still with the girl, you know, still part of the family, and, you know, waiting to get out so he could be with his family. So that's why I'm saying, like, some of the laws need to be flawed, are flawed and need to be changed, because a public exposure charge or something like that, you know.
16 and 13. That would still fall under Romeo and Juliet rules, don't it? Like, granted, they had a kid, but I don't know.
Don't need to have their entire lives ruined because they are not preying on others, you know?
Thank you so much for your time. It's very insightful.
While discussing the nuance of the legal system, I met this dude walking around who looked like he knew something.
I used to go trick-or-treating a lot, just driving around in my parents' van, and I remember going to multiple different houses where they had graphic images just plastered on the garage walls.
Actually?
Just a mixture.
Jeez.
Like, I know for sure, like, during Halloween, they'll have, like, a whole bunch of police officers go in that, like, area and, like, tell kids, like, y'all can't go over here, or, like, they'll section the whole
He's a baddie.
part of. I
He's
know it's
a full-ass
120. Y'all have sex offenders so close to a high school and an elementary school. Like, literally, you could walk down there.
And a daycare.
A daycare? It really is a daycare over there?
A pre-K daycare.
Oh, wow.
2 blocks
Oh,
away.
shit.
We talk to a lot of people that have no clue
didn't
they
know.
even exist. Is it public knowledge that there are sex offenders there?
I don't really think so. I really think, like, the people that know because it gets sectioned off over there, and, like, people come to be like, oh, like, hey, do you know that, like, don't go out this area? But really, I don't think it's common knowledge, no. It's kind of like if you know, you know, so.
Hopefully they don't entice the kids. That's what I'm saying, is that the kids don't need to be approached by somebody saying, want some candy, little girl, for the want of a better phrase.
I agree.
With such a high density of individuals willing to strip the innocence of children positioned so close to children and their families, it didn't sit right with me that it wasn't common knowledge that these sex offenders were hiding in plain sight.
I think it's time to get changed, throw on the shades, see what we can find about these people.
So, as the storm approached, I re-entered Pervert Park with a new disguise, secret spy glasses, and began knocking door by door to see what I could learn.
Howdy.
My new strategy was to tell these sex offenders I had a fictional uncle named Joe who had recently moved into the community after accidentally downloading some images off LimeWire. Remind you of a story you've heard?
I got charged with possession of child pornography. I was using a file sharing program. It was a LimeWire network.
Push for it, man. You know Joe? Oh, I talked to you earlier? Joe, middle-aged, like, fat-ish white dude? Oh, I hear you. How long you been here? Because he's been here for like 2 months. I'm trying to find him. All right, my bad. Yeah, you know Joe? He's my uncle. Do you know where he is? Oh, okay, my bad. Hey, question for you, man. You know where Joe's at? My Uncle Joe. He says he lives in the corner. He moved in like 2 months ago. You know a guy?
I don't know too many people here.
Okay.
Dude, this is the thing. This guy actually talks to him. Some people did talk to him. So, I mean, I don't... Maybe they just had their feelings hurt.
I'm in Palace Park, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it everyone here is a sex offender?
Not everyone, no.
Are you?
Yeah.
How's life been since?
It sucks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, mine was internet. Mine was actually in a, what do you call a zip file.
I see.
And it was a movie, and it ended up not being the movie. It's been so long now. It was back in 2017.
You served like, what, 5 years?
No, I got 3.
Yeah.
Every case is different, too. Like, because they know if you had intent, like if you viewed it or not. Mine wasn't even open. Mine showed the files unzipped and not viewed, so I got way less time.
Have you had luck working?
I got a job. I mean, it's not my favorite job.
Sure.
But I was doing before I got in, but...
Yeah, well, my uncle was a lawyer beforehand, and now he's
See,
definitely not a
some people
lawyer.
just like to tell
He's
their
working at a
story.
gas station now.
Well, at least he's got a job.
Yeah.
Firefighter, and now I mow lawns, so...
Yeah.
I know people that had intent, they had possession, and they had intent to distribute, and they only got a year in and 2 out.
You need a Better Call Saul?
Yeah, you need a good attorney, and you know what? You know there's like 130 something
Yeah?
people in here, yeah.
Well, I hear everyone's nice though, right?
It's chill. Some people are creepy and I'd rather not talk to them. I still have a family and everything. I have to live here for now until we sell our house.
They know the situation?
Yeah, they supported me.
I see.
I took a polygraph. I had my forensics done on my stuff.
Oh, they polygraphed you. That's crazy. So you truly got screwed on this or what?
It is what it is.
Yeah?
I've accepted it now. I just deleted it and was like, well, I'll never download.
You accept the
Who's
responsibility.
going back from vacation, 6 o'clock in the morning, they stormed the house. I'm like, what the f***?
Holy shit. Yeah.
No idea.
No, that's scary shit, man.
It is what it is, man.
Thanks, man.
And then I met this dude.
I'm hearing people don't really talk to each other out here.
Some people do or whatever. I mean, I talked to the guy like next door.
Yeah.
I don't want to associate really.
Like, what was your experience?
Mine was like 4 third-degree like felony.
Yeah.
Counts. Like 3 or 4 pictures. All I got was 11 months.
Yeah. Was it like an accidental thing?
It wasn't like boys actively seeking.
Right, Yeti?
Yeah. If I wanted to, I mean, I lived with a lady with her 2 kids. I could have been like, oh, come sit on my lap, and your mom's at work, and here, play on the iPad or whatever.
Sure, sure.
Unless it was like a
Just
group chat in the fire
killed the cat.
department.
By then it was
You know what I mean?
too late, and again, I confessed.
Oh, you confessed.
Lesson learned, the hard way. Crushed my, my mom, but my family never, abandoned me. They come and, for the short time I was there, they come to see me like 4 or 5 times. But my mom, all my sisters, my brother, they've all forgiven me. It's like some people forgive me, like in my family, and others don't.
It's like I can't change my past, but I'm not chained to my past.
And then, out of sheer luck, my story about my non-existent Uncle Joe finally paid off.
Hey there. You know a Joe around here?
You don't live here no more.
He don't live here no more?
No.
He was my uncle,
He's not
40-year-old
your
dude.
man.
Making sure it's the right Joe.
Oh, short bald head guy with a goatee?
Yeah, that fits the...
Okay, he used to live, you don't live here no more.
That's my uncle.
He got evicted.
For what?
Bringing females over.
Oh.
Past curfew.
Like the prostitutes?
Yeah.
What are you here for?
I basically got set up.
By like what, 16-year-old, 17-year-old?
On Facebook said she was 18. She was 16, but the only thing that kind of saved me was that she
What? I'm pretty sure it said under 12.
Here for?
I basically got set up.
By like what, 16-year-old, 17-year-old?
It was under 12. What the fuck is he talking about?
Said she was 18. She was 16, but the only thing that kind of saved me was that she wrote her witness statement that she consented, and her dad was one pressing charges. So.
What are you in
That's
there
a lie.
Well, got in trouble, but
Yeah.
we're all in here for the same.
For photos or like you like have sex with a kid? Were you guilty or no?
I'd rather not talk about it, yeah.
After hearing a few intriguing confessions, I left and came back the next day to see if my new story would get any more confessions from the side of the park where I was initially kicked out. As I walked in, I was instantly detected.
Howdy.
Private property.
Huh?
Private property.
Yes, sir. My uncle lives around.
Is there like a train track in the park?
What?
Howdy. Can I help you? The guy from the other day in the car.
Not me.
Pick another phone.
Whoa. Whoa, me, mother. What do you mean?
Now, like, look at this, the whole time, like, remember I said that we tell him about 35 times to leave the property. He was leaving the property.
Not trespassing? Really? I'm quick on my feet, brother. I'm just here to chat with my uncle.
Who are you?
Sir, I'm armed with an umbrella.
Sir, I'm armed with the police.
Sir, are you a sex offender?
Are you?
No, sir.
What the hell are you doing here?
What do you mean, only sex offenders allowed? You know that is not within the Bill of Rights?
You know when the Bill of Rights says you're illegally trespassing.
I don't think that's what the Bill of Rights says.
You want to go to court on that one, brother? Go to court? Sure. What are your thoughts on the daycares and the schools near you, sir? My shoe. Whoa! Brother, don't
Why
do
don't wear
that.
Crocs?
Brother. You know what's a crime? Oh, hey, there's Bill. We had stumbled right into the sex offender Avenger squad. Things were looking bleak, and I was outnumbered.
I don't know what you guys are up to.
Yeah.
Care what you're up to? Can you take your mask off, please?
I cannot do that.
You can do that.
I will not do that.
All right, get off my property.
What are your thoughts on the daycare and the high school
Hey.
being so close
My
to all you
thoughts
guys?
are you need to get out of my park.
What are your thoughts
My
on the
thoughts
children
are
being
you
so
need to get
close?
out of my park, and you need to do it right
Some
now.
people don't
What are you
feel
doing?
comfortable.
I don't feel
With a-
comfortable talking to you. You need to get out of my park.
Then don't
I
talk
feel like
to
we're
him.
gonna get sick by this dog of
That's been
120
here for
plus.
15 years without a charge. Get the fuck out of my park.
Whoa. Why are we getting so...
Wait, did you say he's been there 15 years without a charge?
I feel comfortable talking to you. You need to get out of my park.
I feel like we're gonna get sick by this dog of
That's been
120
here for
plus.
15 years without a charge. Get
Under 12. Got it.
the fuck out of my park.
Whoa. Why are we getting so heated here?
Because I'm asking you to get out of my
But
park.
clearly
and you're
we're headed
still
out of the
running your
park.
mouth.
6
You're not
convicted
supposed
sex
to be
offenders
here.
right
All
here.
Let's go. You're not allowed to film in my park. This is private property, buddy.
We're gonna get pressed?
Whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, my ass. Get out of my
Whoa,
park.
whoa, my... You have ownership of this park?
Yeah.
I'm only afraid of the dog here, not y'all.
You're afraid of the wrong one.
What do you mean?
I mean, that dog ain't gonna f him up.
Which one will? Are you a dog? You have a dog in you? So why can't we just have a chat? We're about to get sicked by convicted sex offender's dog right now. Don't do it. Oh.
Have a great day.
Oh, we made it. All right. That's a cute dog. Huh? What?
My property.
Where's the property line?
Sidewalk.
What? It ain't worth going back.
There's private property right there.
Going
Speed
back.
bump.
I'm
yo.
ready.
Somewhere with your little fat glasses.
I'm a fag.
You're right there.
Oh, are
Speed
you?
bump.
No.
Private
Around a sex
property.
offender park asking questions. You might get off my property, asshole. What the fuck is wrong
What's
with
the
you?
problem?
The sidewalk. Are you too stupid to know asphalt from concrete?
Are you stupid to not ask for consent?
You don't have consent.
Neither did the kids. Huh? We could.
In case you didn't catch that.
Neither did the kids. Not ask for consent.
You don't have consent.
Neither did the kids. Huh?
Wrong.
We could get to know each other.
I don't want to get to know you. Get off my fucking property, dude.
Dude, come on.
Come on.
I'm not entering. I'm right here. It's not that big of a deal. Let's not press over that. Let's talk, boy. Let's talk, boy. Let's talk, little boy. Let's talk. I said let's talk.
Oh, I thought you said let's talk.
I'm a pacifist.
Come on, man. I don't want to see you got coming about.
Whoa.
I'll look you up on the registry.
Punk ass. We got enough problems up. Fools like you.
I'm not a fuckboy.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
Tell you.
What do you mean? We can.
Got marks on your lip.
So why would you say you have fuckboys? Forget it. I know what it means.
We have a
but
civil cop.
why would a pedophile say, yeah, we got plenty of fuckboys? I probably wouldn't have said that.
Talk? Not a cock, I meant a talk. There he is. You guys ratting on yourselves? How you doing, officer? And in an ironic twist of fate, the police had arrived to protect and serve the sex offenders, that is. All right, the police have been called. How you doing, officer? We're just chatting shop here, trying to talk to the guys a little bit.
So you were out here yesterday trying to sell them candy bars, right?
Now this is the
Allegedly,
cop.
but,
Looking at the cop, now you know why maybe he was siding with them.
What are we doing out here today?
We're really just trying to chat.
Chat with who?
Some of the residents here.
Why?
Just out of curiosity.
Curiosity of what?
See what led them here.
Trying to get likes and views on social media. So do you have some idea, or do you want to get detained for obstruction?
I mean, you can detain me, but am I under arrest? And if so, for what charges?
Harassment.
You're gonna arrest me right now?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa! That's you can't do that. You can't do that.
Are you gonna identify yourself?
Okay, I'm on public property.
Are you gonna identify
You can't strong arm me.
yes or no?
We're going to court over this if you want.
Are you gonna go ID
There's a
yourself,
strong-
yes or no?
I can ID myself. You gotta
Okay.
let go of the arm though.
You're gonna ID yourself,
Sure,
yes or no?
I'll ID myself.
Okay.
You gotta let
Where's
go
your
of the
ID?
arm. It's in my pocket.
Which pocket?
My right pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
Get your ID.
Yeah, that's not strong arm though.
Then let's not play games.
Okay, I won't play games, but you can't do that. You can't.
Yes, I can. When you're harassing people and committing a crime, I can detain. What's your date of birth?
January 6th, 2000. Don't let these guys know.
What's a good address for you?
I prefer not to say.
What's a good address for you?
Look
I
at
want them to know. Can I say it to you in confidence?
What's a good number for you?
Genuine question. What will that be used for?
almost like the steak and
Seems like
shake.
there's
on.
bigger things to handle here, perhaps.
Stay right here. You're not free to go.
Yes, sir. I'm being detained. All right, I've been, I'm going to assume for my own legal protection right now, I've been detained. That being said, justice will prevail. Okay, we got backup. Much needed. How you doing, officer? Doing good. I'm trying to figure out if I've been detained. Okay, so I'm free to leave.
Yeah.
Really?
The difference
So I'm free
between
to
the
leave,
cops.
officer. Not that I'm aware of. No, sir.
I think they're just saying you're trespassing, so.
Okay.
That's all.
Officer over there was grabbing the arm a little bit roughly there.
Well, let me talk to him.
Okay.
Gentleman has something to say.
Let's hear it.
Manager of the park, from now on, you are not allowed in this park.
Thank you,
period.
sir.
Okay.
Property line, or you or anybody representing you, property line is the sidewalk. Do not come in this park, we will have you arrested.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Not under arrest?
Nope.
Not being detained?
Nope.
Kowalski, any last thoughts? Was the arm grab essential?
Where do I find your videos?
Tyler Oliveira. He already has my name.
I saw it yesterday, so I saw you out here trying
Ah.
to sell candy bars.
Yes, sir.
It's all good.
Trying to raise money.
Well, Tyler Oliveira or whatever?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Subscribe? You too.
Maybe, man.
I appreciate you. See you, Kowalski. Pinellas
If
County
he wasn't
Fire Officer.
subscribed to him, he probably is now. See? One little video was the body cam footage. Granted, it was 10 months old. I don't know why it just showed up in my feed, but I was like, you know what? Not bad. Which led me to look for the Tyler Oliveira's video. At the same time, me remembering that I did a video on whatever the fucking name of that place. It's not Miracle Village. I thought I changed it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children that are 18 and above, right? Because we're all children, or as the Bible says, we're all God's children, except for me, because I am a god, demigod. So yeah, I guess I would be God's children, being a demigod and all. Anyway, listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the content and maybe learned something new, and that, like in the beginning, the people in positions of power really are the ones you got to worry about. And then you have an entire park full of pedophiles, sex offenders. We'll just say sex offenders, pedophiles. Half a mile from a daycare, 2-minute drive from a high school, and it's okay. I don't understand that. What is it? What does it say? They're only supposed to be within outside of 300 meters, which is still, that's too fucking close, because they can show you they were staring at a fucking park for the daycare. I'm not telling you how to think. I'm just telling you to think. And this is our wonderful place, this pedophile park. I mean, this park has been there for at least 15 years, because that's how long the owner's been there. And yes, they have need a place to live, hobbit holes, but not that close to schools. I think there should be more than just a 300-meter barrier. I think it should be at least 2 miles. 2 kilometers? That's enough space, I think. And the fact that the high school kids walk by that neighborhood probably go home. Because it's under a mile. And you know they don't bus kids under a mile. Anyway. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I think I already said think. Thinking's good. Sometimes thinking hurts, but that's supposed to happen.